Cyrus says cancelled. Yes, cancelled. Cancelled by ourselves. We won't cancel. Cancel by ourselves and replace with cock and bull. I just like to pause after saying that for some reason, just to irritate people. Speaking of irritating people, it's one of irritating people that we're going to go into because we have Navin on standby, the man who gave you this music. This is the Mozart who came up with that crappy tune that pisses the crap out of everybody before the show starts. It's so bad, it's difficult for us to look bad after that. It's that bad. And we have Jai Sriraam himself. He doesn't like to be called Jay anymore because of the, the connotations that, and he's not like that. He's in a sense, not only against Jai Sriraam, he could say that, he must say that with pride, but he doesn't like to force his views on anyone. Lovely liberal man, left of center, very left of center. You'll tell from his hair. But before that, I have a rant I want to share with them. I've decided that the government has not, again, looked at issues which I think they want to sidestep because they think they're not big enough, but I do believe they are. I'm talking about the simple lock and key. I'll explain. The tala, the lock. What's happening now is as you age, it's very difficult to put the key in a lock in the old-fashioned way. I spent 5 minutes trying to enter the toilet here. Yes, we have to open locks and keys in fountain to go to toilets. And I just realized that it's a ridiculous concept. Someone has to outlaw it. It's difficult for elderly people, people with bad eyesight, people with Parkinson's, people who handshake. It's very difficult to put that lock, no sexual innuendo here, into that key. All right. So I'm saying that can we now just make it is obsolete? It should be removed, just like the mammoth. It doesn't fit anymore in this day and age. And we can have just numbered locks or simple things which open when you say your name or face recognition or nasal recognition or voice recognition, all that. So here's my point. Let's fight, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in this fight to outlaw the lock. And with that, the key. Let's get rid of that forever. Speaking of get rid of that forever, here are two comedians who, I sometimes think. Three actually. Silverie, our producer, and he'll magically appear. And then there's Navin the Commando, who of course works with all the elite forces of the world, especially Mossad, and now is doing an Odyssey recital just for us, waist upwards.
It's the pre-bombing dance.
This is what going commando is for me.
Right. The pre-bombing dance. I thought he's going to stop the bombers, but he's not seen the profile yet. So he doesn't know. And of course, Sriraam.
Mossad, Egyptian dance, how they do in the video. Danced like an Egyptian. You know that one?
Okay, your vintage is different from most people. Sriraam, the languid grace of the elegance of an antelope running at full pace. His comedy is like that, very poetic and colorful, but in a measured and subdued way, he hits you with a very hard punch. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say for someone who's never seen my comedy.
Aren't they the best critics?
You could use that for anyone. I feel like that's your generic description for any guest who comes in.
Yeah, we just discussed Mo Salah, sorry. Yes. Use his Liverpudlian name. And we're just thinking in India, when it comes to sports, we do the same thing, right? We don't really know the cricketer or footballer, but we love to give a description, which is far beyond our pay grade. I really enjoy that a lot.
We'll talk about mostly down to cricket being such a generic sport as well. You can just say 4 things about a cricketer and be true. Always plays with a straight bat. Cool.
That's true. Always wears his abdomen guard towards the right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Can't say.
Yeah,
by the way,
that's true for both men's and women's cricket, by the way.
Yeah, whoever's hot right
now. You moron! They don't wear abdi guards in women's cricket. I thought about that. And then I spoke to a female cricketer once on an empty.
They should, right? Like, there's still like a risk of hurting.
I'm going to say something here, and I don't want any sexist backlash on this. Apparently, the abdi guard is worn if you have testicles, because that's where the injury happens. Now, if you guys look into your own pants, you'll find, in your case, Navin, the remains, you and me being older, of what were once glorious testicles. But
that's why
young Silverie, exactly. Maybe we need to wear those things that you give someone after a fracture, one of those large casts.
Yeah, a chastity belt, but in a cast shape. Like that's what it is.
It'll change the IPL contracts. They'll be like, "Uske liye kam." But
imagine a cricketer with no pants, just walking out like it's Mad Max with like those chastity.
Only the abdomen guard.
That's when I watched the game.
Only the abdomen guard or no abdomen guard?
Only abdomen guard.
Only
like
abdomen
Adam
guard.
and Eve style.
You know that there is an IPL team out there like we are waiting for a chastity belt partners to sponsor. There'll be like, of course, like shirt sponsors, there'll be a chastity belt right there.
It's a very intelligent comedy, Sriram and Navin. So what you're saying is that commerce will dictate the way the game goes. Completely now.
If it is already, isn't it?
If it isn't already, but now completely, in a sense that you literally have the brand and then we'll devise the game.
I mean, they're using IPL to sell everything from sex to like sensationalism to like hot cricketers. So I think it's only a matter of time where you just like, yo,
hot cricketers sell themselves. It's the cricketer with the double D bra, the male. That's the guy who
can become overnight hot, right? It was like an entire PR team working on his whole appearance and everything over time. So
but success makes you hot, Naveen. You and I will never know that. But there are people when they're successful, immediately their hotness quotient goes up.
But here's one concern I have. Like I saw Dhoni, okay, long hair, short black hair, and then white hair. Like what happened? And now even Rohit Sharma, I see all of them are turning white like very fast. Just
are you saying that they're coloring their hair white?
No. I think they're too stressed out and they're in the sun.
Can you help me explain basic science? I don't know how to start. I mean, as you age,
this is like I'm concerned about how rapidly.
Naveen, the fact that they're doing that shows their confidence level. I think it's a great sign. Which Bollywood actor does that? It's so rare.
No, I'm embracing it fully.
Cyrus, do you still color your hair? Are you coloring your hair?
No, I'm all natural.
Sriram,
you're laughing. You're laughing. When you live off that hair that you have, as you age, we'll see what you do, bro.
It's going. My hair is going. Yeah, it's going.
Yours is okay. Well, it's not going. You just have
there's like a bald patch on the top.
Look at this lushness of the thing.
Just do what I do. Wear glasses on top. It covers everything. His genetics are a little different, Sriram, because he gets this abundance of hair. I never had that. I tried my best. I tried to look like a young Madhuri Dixit. It never happened. Now, what can you do?
Never grew your hair long, Cyrus, ever?
I did. For 5 months, I didn't cut it in college. And it went up to the shoulders. It was decent, but it wasn't like beyond bog and all those references from my time.
Guys, I have a Madhuri Dixit thing to share with everybody.
Okay.
So last week,
What?
Wait,
you were in bed with Madhuri.
Shut the fuck up.
No, 1 second.
Dude, you're just sharing sex stories all the time. I thought this was it.
No. Now this is funny from another angle.
That has always been the case, but that's not the new update.
That's not the new. Oh, okay. Cool.
So last week, I got a chance to watch Madhuri like live. Like she was doing this film companion interview.
Oh, cool.
As in like on a stage while I was in the auditorium types.
Okay.
And like first of all, like there was half an hour of stand up by Rohini, the RJ, and it was fun because she was doing all this quiz, like which song is this movie from, or which movie or whatever. So so she was doing that, and then Madhuri comes out, dude, and she's like now 54 years old, and she's fucking gorgeous, dude. She's beautiful. I'm like I'm a big Sridevi stan. To be honest,
you became straight for 5 minutes. She's that.
I became straight for 5 minutes. I'm not denying that.
I'm a big Sridevi stan. So much that I have a bathtub in my house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Sanjay Kapoor came out because they were promoting their new show, and I was like, ugh, not him.
Okay. Silverie, you and I, let's go. All right, because some of the other these guys come on the show and then we'll have nowhere to look. Yeah.
I mean, people are looking for honesty. Where's the cock and bull? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure Cyrus
is that what it means?
Cyrus, did you ever Bakra Madhuri?
Yeah, did you ever?
No, but I've interviewed her quite a few. The first time I interviewed her, I was a little, worried because they told me that she was a little, straight-laced and, not very funny. But she turned out to be, as usual, wrong information. Very, very nice. Very easy to talk to.
Someone in person told you that Madhuri is not funny.
The PR guys, that's why I tell you about the IVM PR guys. Also, with due respect, they're lovely people, but they give all wrong information and they put thoughts in your head, like with Asha Bhosle.
I feel Cyrus must have introduced Madhuri the same way he introduced me. Her humor is like the antelope, so sharp and cutting.
And then Saroj Khan gives you a punch.
Sriram, the good thing is that when you're like me and you're basically lazy and have no idea about the artist, really, it works in your favor very often because they don't want to talk about themselves. They really want to talk about the film. They really want to talk about themselves. The moment it's a neutral topic, but just by fluke, we go into a safe zone and they're happy and we all chat. Otherwise, keep in mind, you're promoting a film and talking about the same 5 things to everyone. So they're so freaking bored. Okay? And so the moment we go into something, we're talking about children or husband or whatever the hell we talked about, another person comes out. So
my favorite new thing is like all these actors who are coming back into style now, like Dino Moria or Sanjay Kapoor. Like we didn't see them for a big patch of like early 2000s, right? And the whole thing is
Chunky's back with a bang.
Chunky's back with a bang. But like they all usually like when they're doing the researches, they're like, it's not that I was not offered films. It's just that those roles were not good enough for me, as an actor. And I just like I lose my shit.
It just
I'm like, okay,
it just happened to be a one camera setup with a lot of nudity.
But you notice that most of the guys who don't do so well, they become really nice guys. I think everyone should not do well. Sanjay is a really nice guy.
That's the reason why I'm a nice guy.
You're superb. You're absolutely superb. Naveen, on the other hand, with his fucking Philippines following, has gone berserk. What
I
happened
never
to that
went to
Philippines
Philippines.
gig?
The funniest thing that show never happened only, and you're
Okay,
still
for those
believing
listening to
that.
the show, he left the Cyrus Says and IVM team only because he was going to Philippines to do a show and change his
But he
life and
chose
probably
to be
stay
a
there.
nice guy over
No,
a famous asshole.
no,
But it's go to
apparently
Australia.
he
It's
was he
better.
was told it's a very conservative society in terms of sexuality, and that if he makes 50% of his
Not really. So
a
I
lot,
was watching a documentary
that's what you
recently. Like
said.
Philippines has like drag culture. They have like full out gays and
I
But you,
thought
everything.
you said
Cyrus
they
being
won't allow you to make
sarcastic.
homosexual remarks, funny or not,
I never said
tongue
that.
in cheek.
Y'all assume that. I just like
So
both
you
you and Amit
so
were saying, like,
basically,
be careful, you're going to Philippines. I'm
okay.
like,
Then
the
the other
deal is not
option
been
is
closed.
Naveen, you broke the bed again. And this time
Again,
the government said enough. We can't have
yeah,
another bloody
yeah.
bed breaking story from in Manila. Out you go. By the way,
They put me in a
Sriraam is the
Manila
world
envelope.
record holder out of comedians in India who break beds while
Hmm.
Yeah,
making
yeah.
love. Oh, no, not like those comedians who celebrate. Oh, India is
They can also put me in a
winning!
bed
That's
square.
the Sorabh Pant does that. He jumps up, India is winning, and bed broken because he's alone. He and me, same story. But Naveen, my God. And Naveen, that's, by the way, we had our highest ratings on that show the other day. Yeah, the
Correct.
bed slayer Noronha.
Pet
When
story,
you
yeah.
started telling your candid story with F's and this and that, and, I mean, it was like audio porn, honestly. Silvery, by the way, had an orgasm
Do you still go
later on.
back to it, Cyrus?
Uh, I'm just saying that you set a new bar for all of us and we don't know what to do. Yeah.
It's like
So,
a Mills and Boons novel, but like spoken word. That's what it is.
yeah, although I felt you went beyond Mills and Boons, you were really candid and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Sriram, I
You
wish
should
you'd be
leave.
so
You
forthcoming.
should have like an
You're
offshoot, like a orgasmic, like offshoot of this way. Like it's cocks and bulls, just like an
No, I think it's
offshoot.
it's like truth and dare. If you reveal yourself, then why doesn't Silvery, me, and Sriram do the same? We should also be
Exactly.
candid, and we're not. We never
Yeah.
reveal stories. I mean, he hides
I
behind
don't
his
have
hair. That
sex, and I don't use beds. That's the problem.
I mean, he
so
just
yours
must
is
be
a
on the
geographical
couch.
Yeah,
issue.
That's
That
what it
that
is.
that
That's exactly
He's
what
just
it
on a
is.
mattress jerking
Alone
off.
by myself, crying. Nobody wants to hear that.
it could be the Patanjali way. That you do everything on the zameen. This is a
Yeah, correct.
yogic sort of
And by
posturing.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you can
That's
sniff your own asan, there's no point to it.
Yeah.
oh nice, nice. Sriram,
I feel
he's on a
that's
roll.
why I think part of the reason why we are in this new setup, which looks like a big boss confession room,
Yeah.
is because you can confess. I feel,
Yeah.
and
It's a confessions
yeah,
say.
when I was
A lot about it.
17, my math teacher made a pass at me.
It's
and
like a
it was-
candid camera, but we are also like
Yeah.
trying
He
to
did it.
counsel ourselves.
Yeah. Although, I want to ask Cyrus, what does it take for you to come here? Like, the entire cast of Gehraiyaan came for the show. And Cyrus like, no, I'd be in a room which resembles Mars.
Hey, Gehraiyaan kept us waiting for 45 minutes. Hello, you have
Yeah,
no
actually an
idea.
hour. Actually.
That's
Wow.
An hour, almost
So
an
as
hour.
long as how long it felt watching the
I mean,
movie, right? Like,
Actually, 5 hours. We went for 5 hours
hey,
and just kept waiting and waiting. And
yeah, that's still shorter
Okay,
than the
I'm
movie.
so
getting
what we did at the
distracted.
end, was we just took another interview of that they had given
Mm.
and cut ourselves into it. They never came on the show.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what we
well,
did. Yeah.
I mean,
Can I
that's
Very
just-
why.
smart.
That's
I
why after
apologize.
that, I think
Yeah.
Cyrus, that's better to get Naveen
Yeah.
and Sriraam. Yeah.
Exactly.
They are here
I-
in person.
I apologize for this entire show because the audio listener will not be able to understand. But we have an extra elbow happening, which is distracting me. Now, if you watch the frame, oh, it's gone now. Silvery, there was an
Yeah.
elbow coming in and out of your frame.
Who's, oh my
It's
god.
Pune, yeah.
Oh, okay,
That's
fair
Pune.
enough, fair enough. Wherever he
Mm.
goes, his friend, let's say, is with him. And I mean, they haven't come out yet, so I don't want to push the matter
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
And they wear the same
Don't-
shirts also, I've noticed. They're like
And the same
overnight
barber.
exchange and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just that
Yeah.
Vinay's hair doesn't grow that long. He's doing his best.
Yeah. It's like conjoined twins but separated at chair. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Nicely done.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that finally they've decided to make it official though, because again it's his arm. I don't know
That's
whose
fine.
elbow is
That's
that.
everybody's
Silvery's
like
not-
doing.
Everybody's saying the same
Again,
thing.
Everybody's
It's
like
very
working out
distracting.
nowadays. They want to see,
Yeah.
everyone wants to show off their arms. So that's what
Yeah.
is happening. Just flex it.
So
That's
when
it.
they were saying
Nice.
Dubey, they're talking about Gehraiyaa's budget or what?
What are you,
They
Kanagana
never
Ranaut?
recovered.
You leave my Gehraiyaan alone. They're very nice people.
Okay.
I like that shop.
I was
a
being
lot.
nice to you, Cyrus. I was like
Okay,
compensating for what they
alright.
put you through. I'm like,
No,
I
it,
mean,
You have to help
it's
me
okay.
because you know
Right,
what?
right,
I'm
right,
never,
right.
Cyrus,
I'm
tell you
never
what
going to
the
watch the
problem-
film, so you guys have to help me with this. This is
yeah,
the post
you
thing.
and me both.
We
Cyrus,
meet
I
them
think what
again.
the problem is, every movie pales in comparison to Hello Friends, and you've set the bar so high that
That wasn't a
everything
movie,
else-
by the way. Hello, friends.
Just it was.
No,
it
but
was
what
not.
he's saying
It was an
is-
Each
experience.
episode was a movie in
It's,
itself.
it's an experience in itself, all right.
It was
You
cinematic
can't.
marvel.
You can't
Sriram,
box it
let me
into like
translate. Yeah.
a
Let me
movie
translate
or
your
a,
Silvery. I think I've understood better. What he's trying to say is that as an art form,
Yeah.
the medium
It
is not important
transcends.
anymore.
It is
It
an
transcends
antelope that
everything.
is
But also, I want to
jumping.
know, Cyrus,
Absolutely.
in 99,
Because-
how much did you actually run?
No, I did. And I had a fat suit on, Baba. There was
It's
a horrible
lot of
set of
running. In
takes.
99, I'm
99
like
was
Cyrus
great.
is looking chubby as hell.
Raj, OG Raj and DK, right?
It's
Yeah,
it's for
yeah.
99
Yeah.
feet. It
Yeah.
stands for. It ran
Yeah,
No,
right
I
yeah,
remember
it was a lot.
that running take. Oh, that was terrible because there were 7-8 angles, and
I
Kunal
can
came was that
imagine.
Entu cutlet. He's the opposite. He wants to keep running.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they do stuff where the feet and all, just your feet are short, right? So you do the whole
yeah,
thing because the cameraman's most excited about these shots. So it's not like you
yeah.
can stop running. But I'm saying there's no face, nothing. Why am I running? Can someone wear my shoes and run? No. Those are
Is
Exactly.
that the moment where you took it upon yourself to start working out? Where if there's a 99 sequel, god damn it, I'm going
for
to
the
run.
last time.
Right?
101.
Like
For
just
the last time I work out, but I'm very anti-cardio. Cardio is not working out. Cardio is sissy workout. If you're a
ah
sissy,
Yeah.
you do cardio. If you want to lift
ah.
weights and work out like an animal, you lift weights. Now you decide, you three gentlemen. Sissy, weights. Sissy,
Sissy, I
I
go
do
with
nothing.
Sissy. I'm
all
happy
the
being
chief
I do
Sissy.
nothing. I'm
ministers
somewhere in the
in
middle.
India who run around are, well, sissies. And those who lift weights, those are men.
I
Men
just want to
amongst
say
men,
it's
Naveen.
very
Men
yeah
amongst men.
discomforting to listen to sissies like just being thrown around like that because it's always a very homophobic slur. But
Yeah.
you do
I
you,
smell.
Cyrus. I can't
Hey,
change you at this
it's not
point.
homophobic. They're two different words. Hey, where did you get that from? Hey,
No,
I
I'm
mean,
that was
saying
not
I'm
I
necessary.
saying
mean,
like throughout my life I was used like whenever you're flary,
Lots of
they're
great
like you're
bodybuilders are
being sissy right
homosexuals.
now.
Excuse me. Lots of great
What?
leaders. Shall I
Yeah,
give you a
that's
list?
true.
So watch
I
your
don't
mouth.
like I fucked a few of them.
There's no correlation. Now, apologize to me and Madhuri Dixit right now, and shake your
To
hips while you do
Madhuri,
it.
I apologize.
Was that the end of your Madhuri story, by the way, Naveen? Then
We
stopped
No,
lost
watching.
actually, I
interest.
walked out when the entire cast came out. To be honest, I was the only person who left the auditorium, and
Why?
everybody stared at me
Why?
because. So I realized something that
That's so
as a
rude.
comic, after having done this for 8 years, I don't want to be in the audience side of things. I just like to be on stage, and then I'm done.
Yeah, that's
I've
fair.
just developed this whole weird thing about like sitting and watching someone for too
No,
long.
that's fair. You're another frame of mind. That's fair. That's okay. You've
Yeah,
done your show and you want
yeah.
to get on with it. You
no,
just want to go back and
And people are
clap.
losing their shit. Okay, people are like,
Yeah.
"Ki
I
ek
love
do teen," and
yeah,
I'm like,
that's
"Ki, calm
there.
down.
But
It's
that's
okay."
the fun of being in the audience where you
No,
can
but
judge
Sriram,
everyone else as well.
that's
No,
one way
and I
looking
had
at it.
fellow comics Sonali Mittal, I'm saying Aditi Mittal and Sonali Takkar,
Yeah.
and they were both like really into it, and I'm like, yeah, and Aditi's giving me say this song, and I'm like, I'm not into it as much as she is,
Hmm.
but I'm giving it my best. I'm like, yes, I love Madhuri, but like how long can we watch like Manav Kaul and Sanjay Kapoor and two baby actors, and Anupama Chopra asking the same questions? Ki, how is your role about you? Like I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I think you guys should use that same interview and do a Madhuri Dixit podcast.
We
Yeah, you
could,
should
but
use answers from there.
Yeah.
but I want to just tell Naveen, set the record straight for the poor groups of English theatre actors from the 80s and 90s. We had to sit in the audience because we couldn't fill up audiences. So if you're not in the
Yeah.
scene, you go sit in the audience.
Same with open mics.
Yeah.
What do you think we
Yeah,
do
so
that?
our thing is
Yeah.
different. I don't want
We
to be
also
in the
laugh
audience,
at other
but my
comics'
director
jokes.
Yeah.
Pearl would shout and say, "Now go and sit there for 2 scenes." Because
Yeah.
anyone wearing a suit, let's say in that play, in any case, in those days people would dress up and come for the theatre, and so you sit there and you clap and all, and then you go back on stage.
Nice.
Normal,
Nice, yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
So
There was
was
no
every
third.
play an ensemble where there was no like one act,
Every
one
play was a
person play?
complete failure. So yes,
100%.
it was an ensemble. You are
Yeah.
right to say,
Oh,
Sriram.
fuck.
But it taught us well. See, we don't expect success. We can't deal with it.
We need
We're much
Naveen to
happier
write
with
for ALT
failure.
Balaji.
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
where my career is headed, honestly. After Munawar, that's where I'm going now.
Oh yeah, Munawar and Kanagana Ranaut are going to be on the same show.
On the same show.
Did
Did
you
you
read
know
about
that,
this,
Cyrus?
No, what show?
There's a show called
So,
Lock
Lock
Up. It's
Up.
a reality show, and
That headed by Kanagana Ranaut and
she's hosting.
she's hosting. No, Ekta Kapoor is producing. What?
Yeah, she's the showrunner essentially.
Oh,
And
okay.
Ekta
No, one
and,
second. So he's a
Kanagana is the
performer
host.
or he's a contestant and she's
See,
the anchor.
people are already asking it.
She's the anchor, yeah, or
Yeah.
the host. Like what Salman Khan's roast is.
The funniest
role
thing is like on
Okay.
Twitter when
Big
some of
Boss,
this
I think.
happens, like it's immediately like left-right arguments, right? Like
Yeah.
the left is like
Man,
how can
Munawar is
Munawar
getting
be-
so much hate, yeah, from
and the
both sides.
right wing is bringing out old tweets like this is what you said about
Me?
Kanagana ma'am.
Yeah,
Kanagana
yeah,
ma'am,
correct.
look at this
It
campaign.
It is a great moment when people's worldviews just fall apart.
But can we
one
just-
Yeah,
minute.
they're like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
supported
It
Munawar
is a
through all of
beautiful
this,
moment.
and
Yeah,
this is
can
him
we-
backstabbing
Yeah.
us.
Can we
This
just
is
do
what
one
happens
thing?
when
Let's
you
just
know
support
Munawar,
Kangana
Munawar.
just for a
Yeah.
change of scenery. All right. And besides, she's prettier. I always found her attractive. Some
And also
ways.
make
So-
your money, man. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Make
the
your
song called Pakiza from that movie. Remember?
Yeah.
Fuck, whatever the movie
I
is.
mean, I don't, but
That
I'll
song is
just
my
say, yeah.
favorite song in Bollywood. Like I love that song. Such a beautiful
Sing
song.
it, sing it.
But Ishq Tera Mera.
Okay, never
Rab
sing it
se
again.
zyada
Never sing it again. No,
Ishq
that
Tera. It's a
doesn't
high
work
pitched
for
song.
me.
I don't know. I can't. I would have done a better job if you didn't put me on the spot. But it's a good song.
I
But
love the song, I
but
love it.
now that song
Sriram's
is
hair
associated
is
with
changing
Kangana's
color.
face.
No
Always,
more
you know what I'm
singing
saying?
on our show. All accents. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Naveen.
Yeah, so I'm done. No, but the point is that that song is forever associated with Kangana's face now. Or even the
coming back
movie
to-
Queen. I love the movie Queen, but like it's her,
It's the Parsis we say Queen, no? You don't say Queen.
Yeah.
Spell it
Yeah, Harley
Quin.
Quinn.
Quinn. to my queen. I play the mandolin. Just get back to that show. What's the show called? Kangana and
Lock Up.
Lock Up. So
With
what
two
is the
Ps.
concept? You
People
put
have gone to
like
jail and now they're out, and they're going to be in
so
a.
Munawar is
in a
already
Mostly
series.
this
rehearsed.
all people who have been to
Munawar's
jail
rehearsed
already.
that. Yeah.
Is that the premise of the show?
No,
I
idiot.
saw only
It's
one.
a mock jail. Not that they have actually gone to
Yeah,
jail.
yeah, no, but
Munawar has.
the criteria to get on the show, to be a contestant on the show, is it that you have to have been to jail actually in real life also?
I feel that's the show.
Yeah.
Which is why
It's
I
very
think
limited number
yeah,
of
which I
contestants
think
you can
fundamentally it's flawed because after like the first season you have to look for politicians and like,
yeah, and
you
they'll
know,
never
also,
admit.
like
"Yeah, I
but
went to jail."
second season will be lit because you'll have Subrata Roy, Gurmeet
No,
Ram,
no,
Rahim
what?
Singh.
Yeah,
Nobody will
it'll
have
upgrade.
Subrata.
Yeah.
It'll be
but
nice.
imagine for comedians, there's no future there because unless you're really against the right and
unless
get
you
jail for that,
get us
the only
arrested.
thing you
Yeah.
get jail for is like no parking. I mean, I can't think of any other crime a comedian does. So
It's the
what's
funniest
point
thing
of
because
that?
yesterday we were discussing this at a show. We were at a mic, and Ronak Rajani, who's a comic, and Masoom Rajwani, who also almost went to jail for a joke.
Yeah.
But Kamra came and has helped him out at the police station. He had to write an apology letter. And so Ronak is like, imagine Masoom, Kamra stopped you from being on the show. If you had gone to jail, you would be on the show. And do you feel bad about it? It's like, no, man, I don't want that kind of publicity.
What did the
people
apology
don't-
letter say?
It says
It
that,
was like a whole thing. He had not know. Like it was he had done a joke about.
it was all
gods.
like I blame my parents for giving birth to me. And
Yeah.
all of that.
I'm
It
from
was-
Vashi,
it was
so
I have
actually
no
very
sense.
thoughtful,
Yeah.
heart.
Because
Yeah.
of religion.
And there's a video.
What
Yeah.
Masoom doesn't
kept
know,
telling him.
what Masoom doesn't know is the reason Kamra saved Masoom from going to prison because he wanted to be the first guy to go to prison.
Yeah.
So
There's a video online by the way.
See,
if
for
you
me,
wanna
it's
check
very
it out.
confusing. For my generation, Masoom means Jugal Hansraj. So I can't think of anything else.
yeah,
who
it's
wants
him
to say
only,
that.
same guy.
Yeah,
I'm
same
like,
guy.
yeah,
He's
him
now-
only
no one
don't
will
like
jail
him.
him.
Yeah.
He's too nice.
You know the song,
Agree.
right? घर से
Jugal-
निकलते ही
Jugal is a
कुछ
drinking
दूर
partner.
चलते ही रास्ते में है stand up show. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole line.
I
And
don't
people
know
ask
what's
Jugal, why are you doing
discussed.
stand up now? It's like not good roles were coming for me. The roles that were coming were not meaty enough.
Yeah,
So
you
he was
know.
like,
Yeah.
He's
I need
head of
something
Dharma
better.
Productions.
What?
He's rocking,
I
bro.
bet.
And he's a very, very good drinker. Let me tell you. I can
What does
say
that
on the
mean?
record,
What's a
he's one of
good
my drinking
drinker?
partners. I think
Okay,
he
like
drinks till he drops. He's a great guy.
That's a horrible
Great guy.
drinker. Cyrus.
Beautiful.
That's
And
concerning.
his dad was a Ranji Trophy fast bowler. Good enough
Is
to
that why he
play.
drinks?
No, I'm just saying, he passed away, bro. But you can take a shot. I understand where you're coming from. Who's left now?
Oh, you call
Go
a
for the
comic
dead.
on the show and it's supposed to be serious,
Go
I
for the
guess.
dead.
Okay.
What if comedians start doing content to get on the show? Says Captain Day, who I have not heard of before, I think.
What does that even mean?
I don't know what the show is about. Silverie, you'll have to give us some more research. Just lockdown, lockout, lock up, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
When I
I will
Google
get on this. But before that, what if you think like how sometimes people meet people on other shows and then fall in love? What if Kangana and Munawar end up dating?
That'll be lovely.
That'll be
I think
it's
that'd be
There's a
coming of
whole-
two worlds
I mean,
together.
both
Fantasy in Antariksh's
both will
mind.
get
Yeah,
both
but
will
what's
get
the-
Which
both
religion
will
will the
get
kids
lynched,
observe?
but it'll be lovely.
Sorry, Cyrus, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Which
Body
religion will the
day
kids
religion.
observe? I'm just looking forward to the future and living in our country.
I think
and-
the kids' religion officially would be attention whoring. So
Yeah.
I
That
was-
sums it up.
I was just thinking that at the end of the day, I see Kangana as a future member of parliament and possibly a
Yeah.
cabinet minister, maybe even higher. So I would not
Hmm.
take too much panga with Kangana. Does that rhyme?
Yeah.
Panga, Kanga? Yeah.
see,
Okay, fair
you
enough.
can't have that criteria
Let's
to
have a
not
poster. Can we have a poster in the background when we talk? That way, we offset anything.
sure.
Can you put a
But
picture
you
of
can't
Kangana?
have that criteria for everyone. If you told me like 20 years ago that Sidhu would be a member of parliament and you can't take posh shots at him, then I would.
And
have-
more importantly,
Laugh like
he'll be a,
Sidhu.
he'll
Yeah.
be a member of
then after that he killed that guy in the parking lot. Like, wait, guys, okay, no more Sidhu stuff. All
The
right.
guy was like, "Oye, mat maro, oye."
Hey, maybe Sidhu was like, "Oye, Guru, kya parking kiya?" Then he hit him, and then he just yeah.
It's like, oh, it's not my
Go-
table. It's a guy.
It's
Going
not my
back-
table. It's PJ04874.
Bro, this is not fair. You three are together and can keep chatting, and I'm just left out here.
I'm,
I'm
that's
trying
why you
to
have to go to the
get in,
studio.
but
Cyrus.
I can see you're
miss it,
looking
yeah.
at each other. Everybody's looking at each other. It's like three guys in a party. The fourth guy's
That's
on
a great
Zoom.
time here.
You
Yeah.
put it far
It's
away.
like those,
So he's just
it's like those office meetings where like there's a New York team and a Mumbai team.
Yeah.
And
No.
New York, they have strippers, and Mumbai they're like ki chai piyenge. Like,
no,
that's
you're
all.
making me feel like Ringo. I'm like just playing drums in the background, bro. Come on, give me some
Hey.
footage here.
Hey, Ringo was an essential part,
You're
huh?
the Harrison.
Yeah.
You're
Very,
the George Harrison.
very.
Did you
very
see
young.
the Did you see the documentary, Cyrus?
I did.
The-
I
The-
did. I
the
did.
6-8
Quite
hours.
sad in
documentary.
parts for me.
Why are we
Actually,
watching?
very-
Lock Up.
Shit.
What a
This is
beautiful.
Kangana.
I mean, this is
Love
just
it.
What
a
a lovely
picture.
pose.
But
Why
That's
is there
Munawar
a
shoulder.
jumper suit from America there?
Hey Shri, I got some good news. In case we
Yeah.
don't get on the main show, there are three guys in black who are some sidekicks. Okay, so that's you, me, Navin. We can apply
but-
for that. Yeah.
But the brief for this poster was let's all show our private parts. just Kangna showing
Yeah.
hers, the
No,
two bodyguards in the behind
Let's
showing
not.
their
How can you
crotches.
say that this is not sexual imagery though? There are
I
handcuffs.
feel,
There's
yeah,
you know,
handcuffs.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is like
yeah.
fully
I mean,
BDSM.
Sadly, I'm interested in the
This is
show.
dominatrix.
They
right?
got us, guys.
and
We are
how
interested.
I
chains,
am
Hannah
really
watching it.
pro
Hannah watching it.
Kangana. After seeing
Yeah.
this, I'm like Kangana for me. Sorry,
Yes.
Munawar.
Yeah.
If he
Yes.
was to pose like this, I
Yes.
don't know. It won't work for me. I like this. I'm going to watch the
Very
show.
nice.
Lock Up.
And as we
And
can
what I
see, she's
like about
promoting American culture right here
guys,
by
what I
putting
like about
oranges
general
and black
entertainment,
jumpers.
general entertainment continues to spell English words wrong, which is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Where do you get that?
Her
And Lock
I
Up
think
wardrobe.
with
it's not
double
about
Ps.
getting locked up, guys. I think about UP and they're just making a show about it.
Yeah,
You
law.
go
Maybe
to
lock
UP and you
UP.
can't get out.
Yeah, law
But how many
UP.
people in UP can spell UP? Come on. It's
That's how to
okay.
spell it.
This
That's
is
why they
fine.
know. It's
Upper,
Uttar Pradesh.
upper.
But
Polish.
it's nice that
You
her
know?
wardrobe is inspired by Bappi Lahiri, the late Bappi Lahiri.
Yeah, full bling.
There's a 1 week, I told you, there's a statute of limitations reverse that we have here. You have to wait for a certain period of time before you do the gag. Now you've gone and done it early. Premature
But how?
ejaculation of no
It's
sort.
not.
What
It's
the
a
hell?
homage. It's an homage.
No, it is a homage, but it's also a tongue-in-cheek one. So you have to wait 3
Oh,
more
that's a
days.
foot on a guy.
Yeah, didn't you see that?
What
For
do
the
you-
Oh,
longest
I
time,
thought
I've
it
been
was
like,
like
it's a
some couch or something.
it's a dominatrix thing she's been doing that for the longest time, and it's
But to
obvious.
That
save
was
money,
a guy on whom.
save money.
Oh,
Actors are cheaper than couches. Furniture
that's
costs money.
true.
So just get the
I
guy
agree.
there.
I agree.
Yeah, have you
Back
seen
to the
Bruno, the mockumentary that this one made?
Yeah,
Sacha Baron Cohen,
Yeah.
where Paula Abdul comes to his house and he has like Mexicans pretending to be human furniture, and he's like, "That's the in thing," and she sits on them, and she's so awkward throughout the entire thing, but she still continues drinking tea from a guy who's acting as a table. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Do you think
But
that Bruno is the inspiration for Lock Up?
I'm pretty look up.
Yeah.
There'll be a sequel called Don't Lock Up.
This is classic, like
Just for the
Bollywood.
record.
The
What are you zooming into, man? What are we zooming into?
just go for it, yeah. Go
Please
for it.
stop.
Go for it.
You
Yeah.
straight boys. Can
You
you
guys
not?
are making so
Oh,
much fun of this lockup, but I'm telling you, for the record, that if anyone gets offered lockup with a nice sizable amount of money, we're all going on. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's what the funniest thing
100%.
is. Like, what
Yeah.
brings us together as a country? Money.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
You could-
Money and hate.
If
for
we
people who are
respected what we
minorities.
would do or what we do, it would be ridiculous. Who does that anymore? That's ridiculous. Except maybe Rishi and Vinay, who work in the
Yeah.
background. One is an arm, one
Yeah.
is not even a face.
One is a
in the
leg.
background. Yeah. Can we?
That's
What do you
Whenever
guys?
the show's not working, just show his arm. That's a huge hit for everybody. He just
Yeah.
put his elbow through. Yeah.
ये कोई आम शो नहीं है दोस्तों.
I hope they win. I'm talking
What do you guys?
about-
What do you guys think about the whole Imran Khan saying that he wants to debate Modi ji? on
Yeah, I
TV?
think it's great. This is the kind of
Love
show. It's like Lock Up. I would like these matches to happen, and I would watch it.
Yeah,
It's like
that would be
sports for me.
it's fantastic.
Imran versus Narendra. I'll watch.
And then have a joint
versus
election for both the
Indian
countries,
Prime
and then
Minister
one
or
Prime
Biden.
Minister.
One
Yeah,
Prime Minister
I'll
emerges.
watch that. Kangana versus Deepika. I'd watch that
Let's
for
face
sure.
it, it's not as
Kangana
much
was-
about Imran and Modi as much as the Pakistani teleprompter was the Indian teleprompter.
Yeah, who can read
That's-
faster?
who
The
can
straight
read
person or the
faster?
person?
Hello.
which
Both the
speech
teleprompters-
writers?
Loser.
Yeah.
Modi is definitely
Both
losing
the-
that.
Yeah, which speech
Or
writer
to
has
give
a
him,
better
like, yeah,
word
to give
count?
Modi
Throw and then
Yeah.
a minute
Both-
break.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Yeah.
Both the teleprompters are made in China, so they'll be pulling the
Yeah,
string.
exactly.
That's right.
That is beautiful.
Okay.
I feel that's
Because,
beautiful.
yeah, you already got your winner, and it's not India or Pakistan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like how he said he wants to have a TV interview to resume bilateral trade. Where is the core? It's his equivalent of A plus B the whole square is 2AB. You know, like वो 2AB
Look-
है ना,
look
वो
at this way.
bilateral trade है. You know?
He's like,
Sriraam, it's
He's like,
simple.
we clean it up.
It's
we can
simple.
use it.
It's very simple. We will give them trade and commerce, and they will give us Pakistani cricketers on tour in the IPL. So
That's
there's a
nice.
sort of throwback.
That's
You know,
nice.
I,
That's
it's,
nice.
I don't know. Don't measure it
Maybe
by
they
exact
expect it to come back
mathematics of a
also.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the
I
elbow's
would
back.
like the-
The elbows. For those watching on audio, I apologize. But right now, once again, our producer. for
But
no
it's
reason,
beautiful that he played
can really-
Modi at his turf. He's like, listen, he won't talk to me either ways. What if I involve TV in it?
Yeah, he's done that in the past as well,
Yeah.
right? Like
My
he's
worry
always
is-
like,
what if Imran breaks into English in the middle? Because that's
Oh,
not the
that's
strongest
interesting.
suit, no.
That is
We got to be
interesting, yeah.
careful. This is a
No,
good
Modi
bowler
ji does have the
exposes-
strongest suit. It says Modi, Modi.
Yeah,
Modi,
that's
Modi,
true.
yeah,
Modi.
That's
yeah.
true.
he
Yeah.
just deflect every argument.
Exactly.
Like Wonder Woman.
No, the
Okay.
weird part is like, like when Modi meets all these
Will
world
Kangana be the
leaders,
anchor?
Oh, that'd be
That's
I think
fine.
she'll be the ship.
can we have the
So-
can we have the handcuffs
Yeah,
there as
would
well?
you see the same picture? Kangana in the same
Yeah, yeah.
outfit,
I
just on
think-
Yeah, yeah,
laziness.
I
The
feel
orange
that.
jumpers are very much in line. I
Yeah.
think. So, yeah.
So in the interview that Imran Khan was where he announced this, right? Like this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to debate Modi ji.
I can do
He
that
said-
very
he
decent,
hosted-
Imran. if you
Yeah,
want, I can
he hosted.
try
He
and,
said
Pakistani
high
people
pitched.
expect more, Sunny Bhai, and that's not correct.
And now do his Hindi also, Hindi accent.
That's a little more difficult fluency. देखिए सुनिए प्रधानमंत्री जी, it'll be like that. He's got a nice voice. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
it's
it's
nice.
so
doubt
good
about
looking, dude.
Yeah.
It's too good.
But he
looking.
said basically that India
Deshtrohi!
became
Deshtrohi! What did you say?
I mean, like everybody was simping over the chai guy who was serving chai and was good looking. Why can't I simp over the prime minister?
Silverie,
sorry.
I want to. What is the fifth in
And
America?
even-
what do
and
we
even
what do we
Benazir
plead?
Bhutto's
But
son,
no,
Right to
he's not
remain
better looking
silent?
than Modi ji. Modi ji is
Okay,
definitely
stop it.
number one looking.
Stop it.
And number
Stop
two
it.
is the
Best
best.
Sriraam and I are
looking.
not involved in all this. We are
Yeah.
we are not involved. We have no say in the matter.
They're
I'm not
complimenting
I'm
about
not
what's
wrong
involved.
in that?
Good looking people.
I'm
are-
not
Modi ji is good
involved.
looking. I
Yeah.
to say Modi ji is good looking.
I'm not involved because of the political.
Because the arm is
I'm
back.
not involved.
Arm
I'm
is
not
back.
involved because I'm asexual. So.
You're not asexual. You have your own sense of aesthetics. Looking at
Yeah.
your hair, for example, it's
Mhm.
it's like Malinga meets Steve Smith on a bad day, and but it's got its own. I think it's very individualistic,
Which
and I
is-
don't
which
think
Have
is
you
weird you
seen?
say
Have you
that.
seen Encanto? The guy who's called Bruno. That's what he looks like. We
okay. Now
don't talk
Aditya
about
SK,
Bruno.
Aditya SK unnecessarily is lowering a very low
What?
grade show.
Imran
Yeah,
Khan
don't-
dubs dal on
Each
his
show has been
balls.
worse than the last in this bloody lineup. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Uh,
but it's
Naveen?
okay. Keep trying. I would say that.
Anyway, so we will move on
I-
from that. So, yeah,
Sorry,
last words.
about
Hurry up.
Imran Khan. What was I going to say?
He had a thought.
Fuck it. Yeah.
He forgot.
You forgot. It's cool.
What I like is think about Imran Khan when he was playing cricket, being the alpha in Pakistan by far. There's a lot of bad language. So I'm wondering in this
Yeah.
debate, if he loses his
Yeah.
temper, like let's say Javed Mian,
Which is what I was
a lot
going
of
to get
people
at.
would go
Yeah.
right up to him and say MCBC and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah.
worried, or not worried, but it'll just change the entertainment world for us because teleprompter
The
may
thing
not have
is,
that.
each of
Chinese
see,
teleprompter may not have that.
yeah, Imran and the back would have like Wasim Wakar and Modi at the back would have the Bajrang Dal. So I think it evens out. Both are
You think
pelting in one way
who's
or the
faster
other.
through
Yeah,
the air?
eagles and vultures.
I think the Bajrang Dal is faster.
Faster through
They
the
have
air,
more
right?
net practice. No, they have more net
But
practice.
off the wicket, Wasim would get that extra zip. So I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I
It's gonna be a
agree.
good
Yeah,
game.
that's true. That's true.
I think whoever wins.
Oh,
the toss should bat.
Wakar would have reverse swing, so he'll come back to. He'll aim it at India, but he'll come back in. Yeah.
Okay,
so-
easy, bro.
What do you-
Easy with the metaphors. We don't know.
Cricket lingo.
We don't.
What,
The
what,
thing
what
is,
do you think?
people
Of the,
even if you're supporting India, people won't understand your humor sometimes.
Yeah,
You still get
yeah,
killed.
that's-
You're like,
Here's-
Lord, I'm trying to explain.
here's
The
what I
joke was
don't
on the
understand
Pakistani
about-
guy, but yeah.
Here's what I don't understand about Modi is that every time he meets a world leader, he gives them a bear hug as though they are the best of friends.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I was like, this guy doesn't even talk to me.
but what are the chances
Well-
Modi ji agrees to the debate? What do you
Have they
guys
hugged?
I-
Have Imran and
we-
him hugged? No, right?
I'm
No,
sure
I've
they've
not
hugged.
seen
Yeah,
him.
they've been in
No,
some
the
world
UN and all, there's no
G20,
hugging. It would
whatever
definitely come
G20
in the-
summit or something where Modi hugs everyone. Like, come on.
No, not him, not Imran. There's for some
Not
reason
Imran?
I don't know what the reason is. No,
He's
no
but,
hugging of Imran.
okay, but let's say he's hugged Mohammed bin Salman, so indirectly he's hugged Imran.
No, not exactly.
well.
I won't go with that. Very different. Well, how can you
He's hugged
compare the-
Putin. He's hugged President 11 of China and
Even this one.
President
No,
11, you
there's,
better.
Chairman 11,
Hey,
Chairman
there's
11.
pressure. That's pressure hug.
It's like
Remember?
board presidents 11, like
Yeah,
like Chairman
yeah.
11.
Chairman
Sorry,
11. But what a wonderful
uh,
story that is, as humor goes. That you actually
Yeah.
have a newscaster saying
Yes.
11 on
11,
camera. I mean,
11
there,
chimping,
for
yes.
clarity.
That was
I mean,
so
I think
funny.
only
Yeah.
India can do that. I respect that so
Beautiful.
much.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Oh, guys, it's 10:35.
Let's
Should
take a
we
break.
take a break?
Yes, we take a break. Yes.
We
Okay,
did one
and
topic.
after
guys.
the break, there's
I'm
something
so proud
happening,
of
right?
us.
Oh, there's some great excitement after the break. Something wonderful that we have to share with you. Silverie is
Yes.
going to share that,
Like
or
a
it's
quick
also
thing.
an
Like a
AB?
quick. No, it'll be there. It's like a 10-second thing we'll have to share. But we
Natural
will do it.
segue.
It'll-
I wish we
yeah,
would talk
exactly.
before the show started so we don't look like a bunch of amateurs, but hey.
We
whatever.
did. We did, but we
No, I
did go
won't.
It's
well.
a,
Yeah,
it's a
you-
10-second
We did talk.
MMS
Okay.
Break, break,
Go ahead.
break.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Advertising is Dead, Varun talks to Hitesh Dhingra, founder of the Man Company. They take a look at how the male grooming industry has evolved. On The Longest Constitution, Priya explores the states of women's rights with respect to their bodies, contraception, and abortion. On Audio Gyan, Kedar meets user researcher Dharmesh Ba. They talk about the significance that research and insight bring to an organization. On the Musafir Stories, it's all about Hyderabad. Saif and Faiza talk to Yunus Lasania, curator of the Hyderabad History Project and the Beyond Charminar podcast. And on IVM Likes, Antariksh and Zalak are joined by the hosts of Big Talk About Tiny Humans, Devi Shobha and Dr. Meghna. They rate Bollywood parent characters in a fun game. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. The word of mouth really helps. Also, don't forget to rate us on whatever platform you're listening to us and check us out on YouTube. You can check a list of all our channels at ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and HDFC Life Insurance. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Yeah, can I just come in there before you play your award-winning other thing?
Yeah, sure.
I was a little surprised. There's a guy called Dharmesh Ba.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to clarify that name because in Gujarati, Ba is a relative term for relative, which is different. I don't know, in different cultures. I'm sure in the South it'll have some meaning. But what is Dharmesh Ba's actual name? Is that his name? So can we just dig into that? Second thing is, and this is a mistake, Amit, you've made, so I'm telling you this directly. And I'm not personal about these things, but as a voiceover artist who's won many awards for the last 40 years, I must say, Yunus lasagna, it's not like the Italian dish. It's the way it came out. I felt it was more like a food dish, and I wasn't happy with that. I felt it wasn't given the right respect. It's more lasagna. It's a different name. Just a small.
I'm sure if you
thing
go
about it.
to, I'm sure if you go to Muhammad Ali Road, there's a fusion restaurant there.
Yeah.
It serves Yunus
You
lasagna.
take it further, Sri. You always take it further and cause the revolution. My point is, when they jail you, do I have to also come along? That's my only point.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you have to be on season 2.
Yeah.
Because your look is fitting in
Not
jail.
on this show, but on Lock Up is where
Lock
you have
Up,
to
yeah.
come.
Yeah.
Lock Up. I'm not playing this game if you don't pronounce it correctly.
It's Ba like
Dharmesh is
those
a
like
bachelor.
kya bolta ba.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Very
Dharmesh
kudla.
Ba,
Yeah.
That's so mean. KK is saying he's done bachelor in arts.
In
BA. Wow. By the way, I'm a bachelor in arts. What are your
Yeah,
qualifications?
so
Cyrus Ba.
quick thing, guys. Just tomorrow, we have a show called Khelneeti on the IVM Podcast Network, hosted by Sabah Kareem, Rajiv Mishra, and Ayaz Memon. And
Ayaz
tomorrow we have
Memon.
Saurabh Memon. I said Memon.
Just change the
Don't
And,
mess up
Saurabh-
cricketers and journalists, even
Yeah,
though Wriddhiman Saha
Saurabh
may not
Pant.
agree.
Saurabh Pant is going to be on that show tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. live.
Why is he glaring like
please go
that?
check it out.
Oddly, Saurabh looks like a beautiful mix of Sabah Kareem
and Vinod Kamra.
and
Rajiv Mishra and
Rajiv
Ayaz
Ayaz
Memon.
Memon. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah,
Like if you had to
yeah.
make a.
This is not a picture of Saurabh
That's
Pant,
not-
actually. This is a
That's
picture
not
of
what you should be
Yeah,
worried
all
about.
right, it's nice.
What you should be worried about is that we are playing Sri Lanka in a T20 series and they're making it
Yes.
sound like the Ashes. I don't know. I'm not getting that feel. Yeah. But what do you think as a comedian? Should you pull faces or should you just have a straight face? Because some of
They
the pulling
want us
faces
to.
makes you
Like,
look really
if we do
stupid.
photo shoots now, like, they don't allow
Yeah.
us to, like, just do normal shoots.
don't.
Every photographer.
Why do they do that? Hey, come on.
Because-
एक और expression और कुछ funny
हाँ,
करो.
poster पे जाने के
What
लिए
the
you have to look like you have to still with your face also types, So I have all
All
these like weird
comedians,
poses where I'm
we
like
must get
this,
together
and
and
I'm
beat
like
up
this.
photographers just for that.
Also, if you look at the photo,
all these problems that successful
Yeah.
comedians have, man. I don't
Silverie,
understand.
also
Silverie, can I tell you the worst humiliation? You go to someone's wedding, the photographer recognizes you because there's no friggin' celebrity of any kind. So the two-bit celebrity that you are, you suddenly get some attention. They come up to you and say, "Sir, kuch funny karo."
This happened to him.
Oh, his
Yeah.
camera. It happened to you, right,
Yeah.
Navin? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? Everybody's well dressed, you want me to go, huh? This is the only picture in the whole gamut of albums that are out there with the guy going,
Yeah.
the two-bit celebrity. It's ridiculous. Of course, I did it.
By the
That's not-
way, this India Sri Lanka match I didn't know was happening in
Thursday.
the post-apocalypse.
It's happening in the Mad Max arena. Yeah.
It's nice.
It's
to know.
the
And
Thunderdome.
you guys,
I
I think you guys got it wrong.
Is it
He looks
is it
more-
happening in Narendra Modi Stadium? Then I think this.
No, it's happening in Lucknow, so it's a Yogi Stadium.
pretty close.
If you-
Yeah,
if-
that's-
Yeah, there you go.
Burning, yeah.
As
Nicely
stadiums
done,
go,
nicely
yeah,
done.
it's the
That's
same
all
wind blowing.
the bodies are.
Behind the bowlers run up, the same wind will be blowing. But
Nicely done.
the question,
Someone
It's
said,
a-
wait, sorry. Someone
Yeah.
said, Saurabh looks like the Rock's younger brother, the Pebble.
yeah, but he looks for
That's
me.
a-
He
that's
looks
a-
like vintage Shaolin.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen 36 Chambers back in the day,
Yeah.
he looks like one of the monks straight out of Shaolin.
But it'll
He
be
looks
nice.
Like, he looks like a cheaper Vin Diesel. Vin
be-
CNG.
It'll be nice, like Vanindu Hasaranga bowls from the
Can I tell you-
dead people's end, like just
Yeah, stop it.
from the mass
Stop it.
grave end.
Stop it,
is-
Sriram. Stop it, please. This is a very
Also, if you
very
notice, the pitch
vegetarian
is sudden.
podcast.
The pitch is firstly, I think it's
No,
a football
no.
pitch.
Don't take it
Secondly,
further.
The
Let
pitch
it go.
suddenly becomes into a grave. If you see at the end of the
Stop
photo,
it. I'm begging you.
it's-
You know, you can't
I'm on
shit
my
on our
knees.
show. It is still our show.
No,
sir.
it's a great
Sriram.
show. I'm sure it's a great show. I'm just loving the
One
create.
second,
If anything, the
Silverie,
creative has
never
it's like a
again
abstract
put up-
art.
We got comedians on the air and you put this up for 5 minutes.
You
all
know,
they've done
you
is
know why
trash
the,
him,
you know,
Stop this
trash
now.
the background and trash
Remove
the
it.
show.
Remove
You
Sorabh
can get
from our screen.
political brownie points against the BJP for some reason thrown in as well. All this, I don't know, they saw the India flag and have gone berserk. Never. Say this when we have a normal guest who's not interested in anything. Oh, Sorabh Pant is very good, nice. That's what we need. Sriram, redo the whole thing.
If anything, Saurabh will
9:30.
love all these jokes. He's
you
a
know
really
why
nice
the
person.
pitch ends in a grave? Because all the
Oh,
players
so
who
you
didn't
won't
get
stop.
an
You
IPL
damn ram
contract.
you.
Stop.
You won't stop. We've given you 50 warnings, but you won't
Sorry.
stop. Right till the
It
end.
says
Go on.
someone has said Imtiaz Ali is switching to dark jokes.
Can you tell us about why
Sriraam.
the pitch will end with dead bodies?
Because it's all the players who didn't get an IPL contract. It's their careers.
What about Wriddhiman Saha? What's your take on that?
Oh,
He won't name the
beautiful.
journalist. The rumor
Yeah.
has it, and I can't say the name, but it rhymes with
Yeah, it's
Pazumdar.
Foria,
Pazumdar.
Foria
Yeah.
Kodumdar. Yeah, I think it
You
rhymes
got a
something
different
like
guy. You got a different guy
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a different guy. Two different. Man, not that many names in Bengali, but we screwed it up. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you
These two
why
don't
these
seem to
guys.
know.
I'll tell you why these guys bully, retiring or whatever, faded away cricketers.
No, he was just
those
upset there
guys.
was no response. So obviously
Yeah,
he called 4 or 5 times. So
yeah,
I'll just
one time.
take Korea's side for a second. You don't
Yeah,
respond and you're sort of friends. That's a bit insulting,
sure,
but maybe you should have
that's
used
fair.
that language. But it's not
That is
that
fair.
bad as it's made out to be.
I feel see Korea recently he is he's sort of had a resurgence, right? He was like in the lurch somewhere for a while,
No,
and
Warrior
now he
is
put a lot of
always
ad
there.
money and
Korea is always there, and he's close to the East guys, right? I mean,
he
firstly,
is, yeah, he's
so you'd
he's
expect the
close to,
Sahas, the Gangulys,
yeah,
all that,
he's yeah. I agree with that. I just feel that now that cricketers are retired, they are gunning for his job
No,
only.
so the
All
question
of them
is,
are becoming
yeah, that's true. That's
reporters. So
well put, well put. So
so
he's
you
he's
might as
nipping
well,
it in the bud. He's
yes, he's
shooting
nipping it in the bud. Yeah.
shooting the thing when it's a child, not when it becomes
Yeah,
Hitler.
it's like how
Well,
when I see a talented comedian in the
you kill him
circuits, right, up
immediately.
and coming,
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Tera
On
kuch
the
nahi
other
hoga
hand,
life mein," and
when you
then he
meet
leaves,
Kunal
and I'm
Vijaykar,
happy.
you're so happy for his good life, no? But coming back to Warrior,
Yeah.
Gajumbar, I mean, not that we know who he is, but I'm just
Yes.
saying, if why do we have to react in a way? Please, Sriram, if you think I'm wrong, go ahead. Why does the whole
Mhm.
entire cricket
I
world, the
think you're
Twitter
wrong,
world,
Cyrus. Huh?
okay? But I just feel,
So
I mean, really, is it
why
that
do you have
bad?
to react? Huh?
All he said is, I won't, I'll remember this and I won't interview
Yeah,
again. It's not like
yeah.
I'll get your kids and I'll burn your village. As threats go, how bad is that? I won't call you
Yeah,
again.
I know
I'm
where
like,
you live.
That's
I'm coming for you.
yeah,
yeah.
Navin, if somebody says that to you, will you be
If
that
anything,
hurt?
that's a compliment, right? I'll remember
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
I'll
that's nice.
remember you.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Especially,
the Chennai in the
especially
background?
at a guy who's almost forced into retirement right now, right? I'll
What
remember you.
force?
Like,
He's
hey, nice.
37.
You
Where is he
need an
going to play?
autograph bat or something? Like, I'll be
The
happy
other
to
thing
give
is,
it to you.
Dravid was nice enough to be honest. It's so
Yes.
rare that nobody's
Yeah.
used to it in India. When a guy
Yeah.
honestly
Yeah.
says, bro, I'm not going to pick you. You will
Yeah.
move on. You're
The
37.
thing is,
We've
he
got
can
5
get
guys in the
away with
wings.
this. He can get away with honesty only because he's Dravid. If it was Greg Chappell, no, that guy would be
Exactly.
lynched
He's
by
born in
the
the wrong
journalists.
country. Dravid in
Yeah.
Australia, England, West Indies, he's fine. But out
Yeah.
here, he's honest. And everyone's like, what the hell? You never tell
Yeah.
them honestly. We quietly get
Yeah.
rid of them. They don't
Yeah.
even know why.
If anything, yeah, like Dravid comes with so much good PR, right? He's just he can do anything. I always wonder what could
He's the
Dravid
most
get away with.
respected and loved Indian cricketer
Yeah.
in terms of status outside India.
Yeah.
If you just talk to
Yeah.
anyone, they love him. They
Yeah.
always speak nicely of him.
Yeah.
Dravid is Bangalore as a person, I feel. It's like a
You're
warm
right.
hug.
No, old
Yeah.
Bangalore. Right now with the hijab controversy going on, beta, I
No,
don't
no.
know if you want to say
But
Bangalore.
that's very much
Yeah.
like more Mangalore than Bangalore to be right now. Like
That's
it's
more
still
Udupi actually.
cosmopolitan
So
in
even
Bangalore.
further, yeah.
Udupi,
Okay.
Shimoga, it's all
Oh,
neighboring
you,
Bangalore.
me and Sriram, we know onions. I'll say that. Silverie, what about you? Huh, Manjot? Huh? Tu Andhra mein gaya,
Uh,
na? You don't care. You're like Kunal. Anything in the south is the same. It's not like
Yeah.
that. It's not like that. Sriram, please jump in
Hmm.
anytime. I think I was still trying to get a tweet across to Moria Gajumbar about not naming the journalist, and everybody knows
Not
who
at
he
all.
is. What's that
We
story?
have no clue. I mean, the BCCI is investigating it. We have no clue what's going on.
Really? And then
Next
yeah,
topic.
and you're
Yeah,
right.
that's
It's going to take years to find out.
enough cricket.
All right, guys.
Enough.
Moving on to
Okay.
the next topic.
I thought
now
you
that
like
cricket
men.
is done.
There's a sport where you have 22 men playing a sport together. Okay, it's not kabaddi, which you
That's
really
such a
or rugby.
cliche look at everything. Football is
Yeah.
more like it. Or actually,
Short
if
pants,
I'm
you like short
being
pants.
like brass tacks, kabaddi is where it's at. For
Yeah.
me, it's very local. I'm very born
Rugby.
desi.
Have you seen
Nice.
boys in a scrum?
Yeah, rugby.
If
Oh my
you're
god,
gay and
yes.
in a
Yeah.
scrum, it's either
Coco
your best
going
day or
in
your
and out
worst
of
day.
each other.
Let me tell
Sorry,
you.
what?
Excuse
Of
me,
the-
Silverie.
I'm sorry. Can we all stop this podcast right now to address that Silverie
Yeah,
just
I
said
want to ask
Coco?
you. Let's take it further. In kabaddi, you say kabaddi coming, right?
What?
Kabaddi, kabaddi,
Kabaddi
It was
coming.
like
When you
Turkey
enter the
coming
arena,
because
you say
everybody's pressing
coming.
you.
I'm not lying.
You're
Sriraam, you're
supposed
the
to say
expert.
either
Kabaddi, kabaddi,
it's either
kabaddi, kabaddi,
I
kabaddi,
prefer
kabaddi, yeah.
or
call up Moria Kachumbar and find out because he's a
And then
sports
start
journalist. He
singing.
knows everything. Oh man, that's
I
ridiculous.
prefer good old Malcolm. I think it has every
Yes, yes,
eroticism out there.
you're right.
Just-
And
let's
more
keep it
aesthetic.
simple, just one pole, one sweaty guy.
Yeah.
Let's
And
not
there's a
Sorry,
compare.
ballet.
they're
There's
very
a
far more
ballet to
sweaty
it.
actually.
Yeah,
They're muddy.
oily?
No, they're muddy as fuck. They put all this like dry chalk
Stop
and
it,
mud.
Navin. I can't just adjust.
Navin
It's
is
like
turning
rubbing
himself
myself
on
in
with
the-
every sport.
Yeah.
Let's go to TT. Maybe let's find something he doesn't like.
Even
Golf,
the
TT.
akhadas in Haryana. Oh my god! Like I'm saying, like we have a lot of good raw talent. If
Yeah.
you see what I mean.
When you say, "Oh my God,"
Uh,
what are you trying to say?
I mean, like they're beautiful. Like they're beautiful specimen of men who are just like in a
Oh, so it's
langot,
more
just
kabaddi,
like
kabaddi,
doing
kabaddi
that
coming.
one thing. Nobody says coming. I'm sorry. We're still stuck on
It's
that.
coming.
Nobody,
That's how you enter the-
guys. There are 5
No,
people in this room right now.
Correct. Nobody says coming.
Nobody says
Or
kabaddi,
do they
kabaddi
have
coming.
kabaddi?
Like,
No, only kabaddi. No, let me tell you.
if coming is the
boys.
last word, then you're out because that's
You've
not
got
the
to
last
say
word. You're supposed to
coming.
keep saying
That's
it till
how
you're
you play
out
the
of breath.
game.
Yeah.
In Maharashtra, we say coming.
No, when you
outside
enter
of
the
Clearly,
thing, you have
never
to
played
say-
South Bombay mein kabaddi. I'm so sorry. This is very like.
Have you
no.
ever been to VT station? Okay, guys.
That's a game of life.
Are we doing a topic? Have we done a topic?
Yes. We did one. We did the Imran
Korea.
Khan Modi ji one. The second one is an Iranian. This is out of Iran. Okay, the story comes.
Sad
Funny
story.
and sad the story.
Your
But-
hometown, Cyrus.
But it's a funny sad story. But in Iran,
Home of
an Iranian
democracy,
prisoner.
Sriraam. Home of democracy.
Yeah, an Iranian
on.
prisoner in Iran found out that he is no longer facing the death sentence. He had been arrested like 18 years ago, and his family had since forgiven him, and now his death sentence all got cancelled. Okay, this man was so overjoyed, he got a heart attack and he died.
In the euphoria of
Yeah.
celebrating his unbelievable good luck, he
Yeah,
died
I
of
mean
happiness.
it's so sad, but it's
So he
also
did get the
very
death
funny to me.
sentence
I don't know.
in the end. He
Yeah.
did get the death sentence.
A sentence
Yeah.
that gave him death.
I mean, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I'm not dying.
So yeah, basically he would have lived longer if he actually still had the death sentence. He would
By
have.
very little though.
But I don't know when the death sentence is gonna
But
happen.
his
Maybe in a
prison
But he
month,
had
became
a
really
three
year.
minutes.
boring.
For him, it was like a suhagrat. He had 3 minutes of happiness and then it shat and ended.
Yeah,
But,
must have been really
more
happy.
like a-
The happiest he had been in his life.
It's
In that
it's very
moment.
close to an autoerotic asphyxiation sort of
Yeah.
moment, where
Which
it's
you've tried
high
many
amount
times.
of euphoria
Yeah.
and then death. Just,
I think in Hindi when they say Dil ka daura, it doesn't make justice to heart attack. I think it's when
Yeah.
they say मैं खुशी से फूला ना समाया. That's what
Yeah.
more is like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What about
more is
Hriday
like.
Bimari?
Mera
Yeah.
pran pakeru ud gaya.
Huh.
That's also
I like
nice.
Hriday Bimari. What about kabaddi coming?
Coming. Yeah.
I mean, it could be a
Guys,
way.
please
I-
in the comments, if anybody has ever said kabaddi
India
kabaddi
fights
coming,
back
please
against
put them in the
African
comments.
American
I need to
America.
see it.
That has to be the
Don't
call now for this.
what up.
You know
You
how
say
like
kabaddi
Tanmay
coming.
Bhatt's
Yeah,
Tanmay Bhatt shows OP. It has to be kabaddi coming.
can we
Yeah.
not do
Coming.
that, please?
No, that's what.
It is
I-
was
I
like, don't do
collectively
OP.
bringing down the IQ
Never
of
do
the
OP.
show.
Hate OP.
What's OP?
But kabaddi coming.
OP,
What's OP?
Om Prakash.
Oh,
It's a-
Prakash.
No. OP is a video game term that these like dweebs use nowadays, 17-year-olds.
What's
Where
dweebs?
they're like
Hey,
overpowered.
we can do
overpowered.
dweebs. Dweebs are.
What's
I'm
dweebs?
so glad.
Dweebs are not a bad word.
No, nothing
Dweebs
is
are
a
the
bad
geeks
word.
who are not cool.
Nothing is a
I'm
bad
right.
word.
writing to Moria Bajumbar. I've had enough.
Always
Someone
say
to talk
kabaddi
to. I can understand.
I feel we have established two things. I think kabaddi coming is our OP, and like the person who fact checks our stuff is like this fictional guy called Korea Bodumdor. It'll be nice.
Who's only an elbow.
Yeah, who's only an elbow. But
God.
I have forgiven so many people. None of them died, dude. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Like, name one personal issue where you forgave someone.
my parents. The other day my father put too much adrak in the chai, and I'm like, I forgive.
Oh, I thought
him,
for
but then
giving
still
birth.
alive.
Okay, that's fine. That's not such a crime.
Not
It's like
He
the
didn't
funniest
birth
story.
me, Cyrus. My
No,
father.
Sriraam, if you really hated your dad,
Yeah,
you would make him really happy.
that's.
That he gets
I guess we are in a catch-22, guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't hate his dad. Better than some comedians don't know who their dad is. I mean, come on. These things
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Those lucky bastards.
Refer to
Stop
whenever there's a
talking
doubt.
about black comedians like that, Cyrus.
Oh, brother.
Sorry,
Naveen, I
sorry.
don't want you on
This
this
is
show
jokes,
ever
man. I'm
again.
not to make
When you
jokes.
come, everybody breaks all the rules. Okay, otherwise we are
I'll say
very careful.
comedy
I
coming and
miss
I'll
Amit.
come, Cyrus.
Amit has a certain intelligence and he never crosses lines, and it's always pretty fair his thinking. But Silvery and you, my
In
God, I tell
fairness,
you,
Amit has
you just
equity in the
on this.
company. We don't.
Yeah,
And
he basically owns the show, so we can't tell him to fuck off. You're right.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
He also
do we
has
have
to. The thing is, after saying kabaddi kabaddi coming, Amit has to go meet
kabaddi
investors. And like,
kabaddi?
anyways, guys, the last quarter we, as you can see, yeah,
Well, that's the way to bring people into the conference room, for God's sake. You can't just say, guys, nobody listens. You say, kabaddi, coming!
coming,
yeah,
coming to the board meeting.
yes.
Yeah, coming. Where do we
Where
start?
did we
Where we
start
reach?
and
What
where
a
have we
show.
reached? What a
That's
show.
what I
By the way,
realized. I think
this is not a comment of praise, just to be very
This is a
clarify
byline for the
that.
show. Like,
yeah.
Cyrus
Yeah.
said cock and bull, where have we
Yeah.
started from and where have we come?
I
Yeah.
realized at one point, I think, Cyrus, you met all these strangers who'd come to the show and you needed to break the ice with some like conversation, right? And that's why you had topics. Now we all know each other. We don't need any of
Yeah.
that,
This is like a
Just,
katta
yeah.
we're sitting at.
It's
Like,
why we have meaningless conversations with people we know all our lives. We
Yeah.
have now
yeah.
cracked it. Sriram, your
Yeah.
intelligence
We have
is
monetized
beyond.
small talk, guys.
There you
That's what
go.
we have done.
Now we
It's
are
not
a
even
podcast
small
finally. Yeah.
talk. I mean, we're
Exactly.
discussing terms you say while playing sport. I mean, it's
Yeah.
how low can we go when the world is at
100%.
war in Ukraine and Russia, and I mean, the country is falling apart, and Imran wants to
Yeah.
have a sort of mental,
Yeah.
Debate.
physical
Yeah.
debate. I mean, what are we doing? Are
They
we
do
playing
kabaddi with
society?
each other.
Yeah,
Oh my
kabaddi,
god,
kabaddi
that's where I
coming with,
watch.
yeah. Or
The,
I
Malcolm.
felt
I am okay either
the
way. Yeah.
India fight
there were
versus
two.
Pakistan fight.
There were two highlights in our show. One was clearly the Madhuri Dixit story, which Naveen told us, and the
Yeah.
other one was the slightly sexual anecdotes of Sriram that we got to
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
somewhere in the
Right.
middle.
I
Which he
mean, that
himself
way
has forgot. What are you
we
doing?
both know
Are you
our
playing with
USPs
yourself?
when we come here.
Naveen is playing with
Naveen?
himself on camera. What the hell's
He's going
going on?
down.
I'm getting a lip balm. My lips are chapped.
Oh, lip balm for a audio podcast. Okay, fine.
Things you
Whatever.
can't get in the lockup, by the way. I'm just putting it out there.
Naveen has a date after this.
No, you have to suck dick in jail for this.
Oh, man.
Is there any need? Shall I call Warrior Gajumbar? Because I'll
We
call
all
him.
know what happens in
You
jail, guys.
stop
Come
now.
on, like it's not
You
like
stop now.
Hey, I want to
I'm an
discuss
old
some one of the
comedian with a weak
topics which was there.
I
Yeah.
can't hear.
Hey,
I
can
can't
we,
take all this.
Cyrus,
Oh.
can we discuss this topic? There was a guy in a
You're asking me
Mumbai.
like I have authority. By now you know I
like he has
don't.
any semblance of what
Why?
There was
Why
a
be so
hear
sarcastic?
this, hear this.
Why ask?
There's a guy in a Mumbai Goa flight who got arrested
Yeah.
for behaving in an unruly manner.
No,
Guess
he
where he
got
was
arrested
from.
and got bailed the same day. Basically,
Yeah.
he was causing a nuisance during the flight where he
He's
wouldn't
fought with
say
the
seated.
aerospace.
He wouldn't say seated. He kept going towards the cockpit area, and
Wanted to be the captain.
yeah, wanted to meet the captain,
was
talk
in
to
the
the captain. But
galley.
you're not allowed to talk to the captain during the flight, right?
Yeah.
It's illegal. I mean, you're not allowed,
Oh,
just
you're
not to do
talking
that.
about the actor's son.
No, this is a random person. Okay,
Oh.
but it's an okay
Oh,
story.
no.
The main part
I
of the
know.
story is it's an okay
Yeah.
story. The main
The-
part of the story is the man's name is Salman Khan.
Yeah. That's what shocked me also. Yeah.
Salman Khan.
That's not the
caused
main part
nuisance.
of the story.
To
the
me,
main,
that was the
the
main
main
takeaway
part
out
of the
this.
story was that the guy had an anxiety
Attack.
attack.
Yeah, your anxiety.
I
attack.
mean,
Alright,
but
and-
it's Salman Khan
and
getting an anxiety
The
attack.
poor
That's what I'm saying.
poor guy had an anxiety attack. No one in the flight notices this. Like, why is this guy behaving weird? Which shows you how
Weirdo.
mental health is
And you can't
perceived.
say words like these in the plane. Like you can't articulate like
And
I'm having an
it
anxiety
is-
attack.
yeah.
Who said attack?
Yeah,
It's like,
It
yeah.
was the Salman Khan behavior, guys.
It
It
is-
is proper the Salman Khan
This
behavior.
is
Throwing a
classic.
tantrum.
This is classic Indigo, right? You're like,
But
having
what about
an
the
anxiety attack? That's an
officers?
extra 200 rupees. You
But
can't
imagine
have
the officers
anxiety
who
attacks.
arrested him.
Yeah.
Want some nuts?
Look at his
Cyrus,
self-esteem. The officers arrested him and then probably were like, "Oh God, it's not the real Salman." You know?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
gave
got
him
involved
bail
in
the
all
same day because of that.
feel
yeah.
even worse about the whole. Yeah, ये तो कौन है? ये तो कुछ नहीं है. वो नाम तो सलमान खान है. वो क्या out?
Yeah,
No, but the
exactly.
guy
like that.
had to. His brother had to come in and bail him out and stuff.
Arbaz.
But they bailed him the same day.
Same
It was-
day.
yeah.
So
Okay,
basically, you're basically fining someone for having an anxiety attack.
Anxiety
That
attack,
is
yeah.
beautiful. I mean,
Hey,
in
Sriram,
case
you be on a plane, somebody starts acting weird and jumping around and all. Obviously,
Yeah,
you're going to panic. Who
I was-
knows? He has
I
an
was-
anxiety. Does he carry a
I
card saying,
was-
"I'm having an anxiety attack"? How are you going to know? What are you saying? I've traveled with
I'll tell you about when I had an anxiety attack. In a
coming on the
plane,
show
You
because
did?
you know the bar
Oh,
we've
you
set
actually
here.
did?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so I was
Coming
flight
on this
back,
show.
late night flight back, all right, and this was during Ramadan time. The guy in front of me, he has to break his fast, right? So he had an apricot, which he's trying to break in the handle of the seat.
Oh God.
And
Oh.
and at the exact moment the flight decided I'm going to go turbulence as well.
Okay.
So now I'm thinking this guy is breaking the apricot
it's going
so hard
Flight go
that
down.
the flight is going down.
This is like
And
a
that's
Zial
when I-
Haq mango
God
story.
forbid he gets a
that's-
Nariel on board.
and that's
Oh,
when
no.
I believed in Allah. That's the power of God.
Yeah, in my last moments,
Okay.
I found my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Note to
Like
Gauriya
Pablo
Vajumbar,
Coelho story.
never call Sriraam and Noronha back on the show again.
What did
Just
I say?
not-
I was not even involved in this
Y'all are
apricot
very-
story. Jesus
Yeah.
I
Christ.
accept you all are talented, but too risky. And risky is not. It's a volatile market right now. It's not bullish.
Hey
I'm
Cyrus,
just,
don't you want to be
yes.
on Lock Up, the reality show?
Eventually.
I would
Yeah.
love. I love
Exactly.
Kangana.
So you have to get arrested for that.
Cyrus, how much would you charge to be on lockup?
I think
we-
Munawar will be getting like a
we
crore
get
at
paid.
least, right?
I thought didn't know about that whole concept.
This is speculation, guys.
I
We
mean,
don't know
with this
anything about
reality show,
it.
We don't know
years,
anything.
He told us.
I don't know.
Okay, shall we do the thing? AMAs. We didn't do any AMAs.
Yes, let's go to the AMA.
Amas.
Oh.
All right. The first AMA comes in from Info Shots, who says,
Hey, Info Shots, my old friend. Huh?
Yeah.
sure. He says, hey Cyrus, when was the time you really got angry at Navin during initial days of the podcast? And same question for Navin.
I don't think
No,
I ever
no,
got
been
angry.
I
I
doubt
only
it, yeah. It's not
slightly
true.
irritated if he's running late because I have my own anxiety attack with time issues.
Yeah.
Nobody's got their weak
And
kryptonite. Other
Yeah.
than that,
dude, I'll tell you
I-
that though, like Cyrus,
Really, like,
I would like
what?
dangle on a single arm from Bhayandar and come to because we had to reach the studio at 10:30. I'm not even
But the
kidding.
arm,
Like
the arm should have been the arm of the train, not the arm of the Mr. Fernandez next to you. That was wrong. You know,
I
that
would have
was
taken him
wrong.
down with me. You know how fucking
You
risky
did
that is.
very
Like,
often. Yeah.
it's crazy.
But,
No, but like
Naveen-
really,
I know Naveen appears sometimes to be ranting a lot and all that, but he's actually quite good natured, and I don't remember
Yeah.
ever losing his temper. It's
yeah.
just a
If I
podcast.
lose
for
my
God's sake. He's
temper,
not
you'll know. Yeah.
aeronautical science, so he's not building.
You
a
guys don't
plane,
know
it's
what happens when the camera goes off, guys. It's very rude, always.
Yeah.
the worst tempered is Silverie.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, absolutely
he-
correct.
Yeah,
Always.
he's-
just-
Oh shit! I have an
ranting
actual
everyone.
story of Antariksh losing his shit,
Yeah,
guys.
we were there.
Yeah.
We were at the
Oh,
venue. We were at a
God,
venue. I'm
beautiful.
sorry, this is a great story.
God.
Okay, we were at a venue
Beautiful.
and we
31st
performed.
December, yeah.
30, no, not this
Was
one.
it 31st?
This is the one where you fought a guy. Remember at
Yeah.
the local
At-
wala venue.
Where
We
the
saw
guy
that
There
also.
also, oh
comes-
yeah,
Yeah.
oh
Then
yeah.
we did a week roast.
Oh, I forgot already, dude.
We were doing
There's
a
so
show.
many stories that I find.
Yeah,
in
we
this
were
movie.
Let him
show in the
speak. Let him
evening.
speak.
Calm
yes.
down. We're doing a show in the evening, and there's a recording happening next door. We're doing a dubbing or something. There's a sound studio, and this building is one entire building and two partitions. So this side is the comedy room, and this side is the recording studio. So our people laughing and enjoying, and people all drunk also. There's a BYOB show, so everybody's getting drunk, having a great time. These guys have complained so constantly that you're interrupting a recording, and we are like, "Fuck you," because we are doing a comedy show, and you do your recording in the daytime. How about that? Right? And soundproof your studio, for God's sake. But they don't do that. So they come and then start fighting like with Antariksh, okay? And then we're like,
For this are shouting out.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
this man comes, this bald man with a beard, and like a little taller than me.
Racist.
This is
baldest
what it is,
man.
dude. I'm describing a man. I'm just setting the scene.
you're tucklist.
Yeah. This bald
Amrish
kind of
Puri-
plump man.
Amrish Puri is
with a
no
beard.
more, so I'm a little
Girls-
sensitive to all that. Yeah, go on.
He comes and starts shouting at us, "Okay, hey, we are doing a recording next in the next
Bajumi, yeah.
room, in the next house. So and you guys are disturbing us." And dude, we were like, "Dude, you had the whole day to record. We have the show listed in the evening. We have to do our show." But he started making
As
a
a
scene like,
point of
"Arey,
law,
I'll
that's
go on stage.
my argument.
I'll disrupt the show. I'll go on stage and disrupt the show and all that." So me and my producing
Kashyap.
partner Kashyap,
Yeah.
we took him down. Okay, sir, let's not make a scene right now here. Let's go down. You're not allowed to enter our premises without our permission. So we went down outside the thing. He said, "Okay, nahin, I'll go inside back and I'll stop the show." So we tried to stop, physically stop him from getting into the show. So then he started catching our collar. We all started catching his collar, and then we started hitting
It
him.
became a full
It
scar.
Yeah,
sounded
became
like a
like-
lovemaking session.
Yeah, the thing is though, he was very strong. He was extremely strong. The two of us were not enough.
No, but you took him
Okay.
down.
We did. I mean, like
Yeah.
we pushed him, like held him a little bit, but then like he started going away. I
Again,
just remember
it
the last
sounds
thing.
more like
The last
love.
thing. The last thing I remember shouting at him, because once I was already, safe and behind other friends, I said, "Abhe jana buddhe." That was the last thing I said to him, and he got even more angry after that.
I'm wondering if
felt
you're
And then
saying that
cops
to me.
came.
Yeah.
You guys don't know this? Cops came.
later on. Yeah.
Yeah, later on, after the show ended, cops showed
And they
up at the
arrested
venue. We
who?
were still there. They didn't arrest anyone. They came to question us, kya hua? Because that man complained to the cops and then fucked off home. Not to like
So
give
he
testimony or anything.
He assaulted you.
I mean, he created the ruckus. He came in,
You know, guys,
tried to pick a fight
for
with
the
us.
record, you get into too many fist fights, Silverie.
I mean,
That guy
I
on the
don't-
road outside your
No, but
house.
the
Yeah,
point-
that also.
he's still getting very
Yeah.
riled up right now by this because I just like
Yeah.
want to tell you,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
very, like a soft.
Where were
comedy
you,
person,
Naveen?
otherwise-
Where were you?
I was just having a smoke break. I was just like watching all of this happening in real time.
You
Why didn't you come to
jerk,
help him?
dude. Yeah,
I'm
at
like,
least stop it.
it's too expensive, man. 18 rupees a cigarette.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting this on
Yeah.
Antariksh.
should have flicked it in that uncle's face. Sorry. Let's not
I
too much
became
of
a
a...
bigger
No, bitch, we
fan
got
of-
involved. I pulled you
Wait,
apart.
Sriram's
like,
got a
yeah,
lovely
yeah.
story which is completely untrue. Let's hear it. Huh, Sriram?
I became an even bigger fan of Antariksh that day.
This guy can fight.
Because
It's
this
like,
hatred for
the
bald men.
Sweetest guy out there
exactly.
suddenly becomes like this fucking rough and tough. I
Have
finally
you seen Star Wars like Ewoks, like where they're like cuddly and cute and then they go like crazy? That's what it looks like child's play.
I haven't seen
Silverie
Star
has
Wars, but
Punjabi
I
blood
have seen
after all.
Antariksh gone angry.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, which is 85% alcohol.
But what I get from the story is, Silverie, that nobody supported you, and that's what comedians are all about. And that's good to know. When push comes to shove, they'll just
It was great. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because I had like the middle ground. On the one room there was comedy, on the other room there was like Fight Club, and like you rarely do you get more for your buck.
And one thing we know about Fight
you.
Club, we don't talk about Fight
Yes.
Club. That's what.
Right. So there was no Fight Club,
There
guys.
was no Fight Club.
How would you rate the fight though? Who won?
Antariksh won clearly.
Comedy.
He was the
won
alpha
that day.
macho man who was standing on his chest and beating his arms and all.
Comedy
Yeah.
won that day.
Yeah,
Comedy.
That man is no longer found anywhere.
He's like
just
Buddha bola,
not
he
around.
He's
He's not there. Sorry.
And
Maybe
in
it's just
case
down his
anyone,
hair.
Yeah.
let that be a
Maybe-
warning to anyone who wants to record next to Antariksh. Right?
Big old men.
Maybe-
Antariksh has shit. on
Silverie,
him.
maybe he's grown his hair and he's actually Sriraam. So he's got a totally
Yeah,
different look
that's-
now. So you can't
Come back
recognize
for
him.
revenge. Oh, Buddhe. Sorry.
Chicken Little getting
Wow,
serious.
Shobik,
Oh, wow.
Shobik's backhanded compliment is like Chicken Little getting serious. Oops. Yeah, you could have run him.
Alright.
That's true. Aditya's good with that as well. Do we have time for a couple more? Yeah, we do.
Yes,
Let's see.
this one.
Let's ask him politely. Silverie, if you want to, you can, whatever you want.
Please,
Yeah.
By your permission.
Sure, Cyrus. All right.
Whatever.
Next one. Tarun Kaushik says, Cyrus and guests, have your jokes offended any celebrities and how have they responded?
No celebrity listens to our podcast. If we're talking about the podcast, so we're safe. I checked with Deepika; she's never heard of it. So I think we're okay. We shouldn't have a problem. But if you're talking about in general, let them answer. Naveen, have you offended any celebrity
Not really.
in
I
a
think we had like
event or your YouTube
Yeah,
shows?
like-
Or
recently I was performing at Soho House and Divya Datta was there.
Who?
Yeah, Divya Datta from Bagh Milka.
Divya Datta. Huh?
Yeah,
She got offended?
No,
I
she was
thought- I
not.
thought it
no,
was-
saying- I started the stand-up with nobody has ever gotten offended. In fact, she was
Okay.
laughing her ass off. Her kids were enjoying the show also. So like,
why are you not
most-
answering the question?
what?
You wasted my time with this answer.
I
set it
don't
up,
show up
Divya
live
That was a
in
name
front of
drop
people.
for no reason.
People are
So I
googling
performed
Divya
with
Datta and all
Punter
that.
was there
all across,
once.
and now there's
Yeah,
no
there
fight.
was there was Chetan Bhagat, that Ghostana, like we just performed. There is all
What
members went to come to my show, right?
Who got angry?
Nobody got angry. That's what I'm saying.
Then
Celebrities
that's
when
the
they come
wrong
to a
answer.
show,
He's out. Silverie, take him out of the show. This is
Uh,
ridiculous. The question was, did you offend anyone? He's offended no one. So what's
Yeah,
the point of this answer?
I make some jokes and Cyrus doesn't like them, so he gets angry. That kind of.
he's a celebrity.
Yeah, he's a celebrity.
How can you say that,
applies.
Baba? All I do is correct you when you say the wrong
I
name.
know. I'm
Because
joking.
that-
I'm joking. Yeah.
They get really upset on the comments,
Yeah,
especially since you're reading the name out. See?
Oh yeah. It's a bit of a longer haul where I did some jokes and it was about the premier family of the country. Let's just put it that way. And a
Right.
couple of months later, I realized I had to do a writing project for them. And
Don't
they
use
were
the same
vetting.
material. Would come to mind.
They and at that time I was in a meeting with like one of the people in the family and everyone was like trying to build, oh, this guy's also stand-up comedian, you should check
we
out
do-
his work on
we do
YouTube.
Korea
We're like, wait, don't
Majumdar?
do that.
Can you
Just
know
don't
Korea
do that.
Majumdar and get the name? Can you just give us the rhyming name so no one will ever
Can't-
guess it?
can't. This is just although
Korea
at the end of
Majumdar you
the,
can do.
although at the end of that the metaphorical Wriddhiman Saha here, I became a huge fan of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to take a plunge at who the family is or whatever?
I think my story was better because I was name dropping.
you were name
Everybody was
dropping.
like, yeah.
You
Yeah.
answered
There's a
incorrectly. but
difference
you
between
gave us
name
names.
dropping Divya Datta and all right, like yeah, but sweet people actually.
All right. So both of you answered really
Root-
badly.
rooting for
actually.
them for the IPL auction, the TV rights. Yeah.
Our human rights also at some
Hey,
point.
the good thing is now Saha is free. We can put him on the podcast. I mean, that's there. That's something.
Yeah, that's
Somebody give him the good
100%
news.
there.
I mean,
I feel
Not that.
at that moment he returns Boria Majumdar's call.
Yeah.
Hey,
What? What?
listen,
Who? What did you say? No.
just
no.
Korea,
We don't know.
Korea
this guy?
Damdar, Korea
Rhyme the wrong name.
Lababdar. Yes, that's the that's the.
Too intelligent for his own good. Let's go to the next one. Didn't
All right,
Silverie offend Tapsi with his dog crossing the road joke? Not really.
No, not really.
Yeah, she was in a good mood that day. We
Yeah,
didn't
that's
offend her. We tried.
Bruce
Anybody
Wayne.
else?
Bruce Wayne has a comment saying Sriraam mimicked all types of comedians: Delhi, Bangalore, small city, South Bombay,
Yeah.
Comicstan. Ask him.
That's an entire set he
Yes,
has.
right.
Yeah,
Very
I think
You don't
that's
do everything. Do one or
essentially
two, come on.
essentially I've offended any scope of success in my career. I think that's the
do
the
Comic
biggest
Stan.
offense.
But can you do Delhi and Bangalore? Delhi
No,
or
but that's
Bangalore
been
or
done.
Comic
Do
Stan?
Comic Stan. What is the Comic Stan one?
Comic Stan is essentially say a line, Cyrus. Any line. Give me any line.
Two men crossed the road and one of them died.
Audiences, with your voting pad, now let's start voting for that joke. Let's start here from our first judge. Navin, what did you think of that?
मजा आ गया हमको, बहुत ही ज्यादा मजा आ गया ब्रो.
Comic Stan! Comic. Let's hear from our second judge, Antariksh.
Arey, faad diya. Arey, that one punchline that you had after the first minute, no? That I didn't really pay attention to, but I kind of responded to what the audience was responding to.
Comic Stan! Comic, yes.
Yeah. How can you do a comedy show if all the comics look down on it? What's the point of that? There's no longer a comedy show.
I mean, it's a good platform.
It's a comedy show where all the comics
you can't do that. You already stabbed in the back.
The thing is, it'll be bad. I understand comics look down, but then Amazon Prime looks down at it. So we are okay then.
Comic Stan is as good a platform as Ram Mandir.
Yeah.
So good platforms.
Yeah, it's a good platform. It's a great platform.
Again, never call Naveen on the show. Just five times.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment to Ram Mandir and Comic Stan. Why are you taking it the wrong way?
No. He's already named the journalist. I'm already in trouble there. Okay, Saha didn't name the journalist. These two monkeys are the worst guests. I never want to see them again. And they have no sex stories. We need sex stories for our podcast to run.
I literally gave an opening sex story. I saw Madhuri. How much more sexual can it get?
She has that thing, no? What is that? Fame game.
Yeah, that's what she was promoting. Yeah.
Oh, what is it about? It's like
about
For
her,
an actress.
an actress who's like
who
a
gets
fictional actress
who goes
named
missing.
Madhuri Dixit,
who goes missing and then
Nana something.
yeah, actress goes missing and then people try to
who
find her.
marries a doctor in the US. You know,
Okay, so let's just be
Whoa.
honest. If they want us to review anything on this podcast with these two on, it means it's going to be a terrible review.
That's
and
the
make
best
them look
word of
bad.
mouth. I don't know if I'll know this show.
It's going to be a reverse review. We've got to be very open
Netflix
about
hires
it.
two drag queens to do a review of their shows called We Like to Watch, Queens Who Like to Watch, and they berate the show, but they still have the most viewership because people want to have fun with people. The idea is to like break even the idea of like everybody's not celebrity status and nobody's like, oh, untouchable because we are in this Premier League or whatever. As comics, we have been like, especially Sri and I, because we're improvisers and comics are especially more vocal. We've never given a damn, and it's not taken us anywhere in a career.
Which is why I find it interesting that Cyrus chooses to do this regularly with us.
Exactly.
He knows
I didn't even know you were on.
80% of the people who we are making fun of, he knows on a
didn't know you
personal
were
touch. He
on.
drinks with
Mr.
half
Ram,
of them.
Yeah.
Mr. Ram,
And
I didn't know. I had no idea. Ask Silverie. He told me we got this snake charmer. And there's going to be a snake. And then he just plays with me, this guy.
He's a
I was
snake
so
charmer and the
excited.
snake. Yeah.
A snake charmer. Because I
I'm
forgot
shedding right now.
Yeah, and a snake, which is not a meal in Gujarati, but an actual animal. And boom, then you two turn up, and next thing you know, it's all this.
And Navin did start the show as a snake charmer. He was.
He did?
Yeah,
He did?
He did, yeah.
He has a very delectable use of his neck. Can you show us how you move the neck? There you go. Wow.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Amazing. That's fantastic.
I can just do no.
just, I guess I have to adjust my pants again.
No, for the audio listeners, sorry. There's no way I can
1+
describe
hours
that.
of what? Yeah.
1+ hours of what, says Hamisha?
Yeah.
You're telling me?
New subline for this show. Cyrus Says Cock Bull. 1 hours what? Okay, cool.
Cyrus, is there
last
what is the last celebrity? Who's the last celebrity you hung out with?
You mean when they died?
No, just generally, like big and name a big celebrity, not like some
Hung out with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, for real?
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Yeah, for real. Yeah. Well,
What was the story?
in the
Which
same
body part
terminal.
was it?
In the same terminal.
Same terminal
Yeah,
as
correct.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Okay.
airport terminal. Yeah.
I'll give you 2 minutes to figure out this fake story of yours. And then I think you can.
It's fully on. I don't give details, bro, like you naming journalists and stuff. Arpit Singh Kunal Vijayekar. First and foremost, it's spelled Vijay Akar. And secondly, I don't hang out with Kunal Vijayekar. He doesn't leave the house. That's two different things. He comes to the house and then leave. Baman Irani
What are
doing
people
that.
saying?
Yeah, was it weird? Like Baman and you are like such close friends, and then he is the host and you're the contestant in that.
Well, he was very worried about COVID, so I was just trying to tell him not to worry. So, the whole show, half the people are worried about getting COVID. So there's nothing, there's nothing else on their mind. So much so that they would actually wash their hands before eating the chicken tikka and then wash again with the next chicken tikka. And you're sitting there and it's just ridiculous. He's not looking at Cyrus himself as a celebrity. Stoic. The best
Yeah,
of the best. I'm
I agree.
unbelievable. How many people point at
Yeah.
me and say things? Mostly they're police telling me to move on, but the point is they do. That's a great feeling. Yeah.
Cyrus is very approachable, as you can see. He's not here in the
Yeah.
studio with us,
Yeah,
but
which
otherwise
is.
very approachable.
Yeah.
I'm the
He's very
common
down
touch
to earth.
guy. That's right. In fact, sometimes the kids say too much common touch and all,
Do you
but
think? Do you think Cyrus talks about us when he's hanging out? You know, the other day I was with this friend of mine,
Yeah,
Navin.
degenerates. Yeah.
Naveen, you know Naveen? No, no. Okay, huh. So anyways,
Sriram,
Brad. So Naveen,
Sriram,
my friend of mine. Huh.
firstly, if you lived here, you'd be a mill compound, okay, in South Mumbai. Secondly, let me tell you honestly, there's no celebrities in South Mumbai. There's no one here. What are you talking about? The
No, I
famous
was
people are
referring to Brad.
businessmen, industrialists, lawyers,
I was
engineers,
referring to
those types.
Brad Pitt in the airport
You
terms.
and I
You know,
both know that's bullshit. You and I both know that. Why do you have to call me out? Never call me out. Let's
Wait,
take one
answer the
more.
question. No, who was the last celebrity you sort of hung out with? Just, I want the worlds to collide here. You know, where
Sanjay
this is
Manjrekar. Oh,
this is
cricketers.
okay. Sanjay
Ajit
Manjrekar.
Agarkar, Sanjay Manjrekar, a few ESPN gigs in 2019
Celebrity
20.
Cyrus, come on.
Yeah.
Huh?
For me, they're celebrities, the cricketers. Sriram's okay with that. So Antariksh
Yeah.
is Googling. Manjrekar.
Yeah. Who?
He's trying to steal
What?
some wine.
Hey, if
How do you
you
spell
hey,
Mandrekar?
hey, if you have dinner with Ajit Agarkar, does it mean you order 6 ducks? Or
Poor guy. The
I have
one
no
time
idea.
in his
Oh,
career.
okay.
Yeah,
He tried.
unnecessary. You never have a kind word, Sriram. I
He
respect
also
you a
had
lot
the
for that.
fastest 50. Nobody brings that up.
He
no, he
did.
didn't
He
have the
did.
fastest.
Yeah.
How did you
he
know
did.
that? He did for some time.
Uh,
He had the fastest
Yeah,
50 for
For
some
some
I
time.
know
time.
everything about
Yeah.
cricket. I just don't like to show it,
Somebody's
man.
feeding you
Yeah.
this.
Sure.
Somebody's
I'm
feeding
the
you
best.
this.
If you
I'm like
think,
Ayaz Memon.
yeah, Cyrus,
This is
if
like
you
me
think
doing
you
a
hang
show
out
in
with
Oriya.
Ayaz Memon.
There's no way.
yeah,
There's no way it's coming out of your mouth, bro.
Cyrus,
I
if
Lies.
you
do
think
it.
you hang
I just
out,
did.
if you think you hang out with Agarkar and Manjrekar, Antariksh hangs out with Jay Shah. Okay, so
Yeah. What do you know, man? I don't know who that is, but okay.
Back to my list. Never call
yeah,
Naveen. Never.
it
Never
is.
the most important.
Hey,
Just
hey,
Naveen
hey!
and
Next
Sriram.
time,
Yeah.
Sai, next time when the auctioneer faints, so they'll instead of Charu
Wow.
Sharma, Antariksh.
I was
Hey
thinking
guys,
of that.
hi. So,
You know,
anyways,
see,
next
you
up,
know,
it is
you
that
know,
bald guy from that show.
Yeah.
Guess who's not getting any
Yeah.
money now, huh, bitch? Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit sad it was in Bangalore. We all would have a crack at that. Imagine all the comedians
Yeah.
running in to put their hands up. My
Sai,
blood pressure is good. My blood sugar is
Sai,
fine. Let me in.
I want to
Uh,
ask you. See, after whatever that guy's name is, Hugh Edmeades, right?
Emeritus
After that,
Edmund.
after
Edmund.
you know,
Well,
headache
let's
messes
call him
up.
Korea
Anyway,
Kachumbar.
Korea. After that was Charu Sharma, but they also
Yeah.
considered Danish State. In that pecking order, where do you feel? I think in between those, you would have been asked
No,
somewhere.
I would be above Charu Sharma now for sure. I would
100%,
think
100%.
yes, because the
Yeah,
experience
because
of
they dug through, right? They dug through YouTube and then Star Sports,
within
ESPN,
10
Yeah.
minutes they
MTV
found the
comes there,
closest.
and then Doordarshan comes. So
M-
Charu is Doordarshan. Yeah,
yeah, MTV and ESPN, in fact, are very closely related because they've got sports, we've got sports like roadies, with basically
yeah,
motorcycle sports, etc. So we've
It's
got
still as
that.
a sport. Yeah.
And
yes,
it's basically
yes,
a sport. Anything Chinappa did was sporty.
yeah,
He was always,
Yeah.
we
yeah,
tell
yeah.
him, you just have to stand in front of the background and mention the song. He'd be like, no, I want to climb the tree. And so, the poor cameraman would have to go up, down.
But in fairness, ESPN has played more original music than MTV in the past
And
few years.
better music as well. I would
Better
say
music,
that
as well, yeah.
without being too
Like
critical.
well,
Yeah.
that Sports Center theme song. Oh, beautiful.
I had a program which I wanted to air called MTV Sucks, but then it became the whole channel. And they said, we can't do this. It's confusing the viewer. Let's take one more. Let's take one more.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
That's a
Let's see.
great show.
Super hit.
All right.
Enjoy this
you should,
podcast, guys.
should
I don't
do
know
this.
when.
you should do
we
a
do
pa-
this
you should do an
Yeah.
offshoot of this podcast called IVM Sucks. Okay.
And the idea of this podcast, if you ask the fiery Punjabi who beats people up for no reason, is to spread love.
Antariksh, huh.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Antariksh, it's to
It's a
spread
spread
love.
love.
Yep.
We always have a 5-minute chat before. Let's spread love today. And just somehow the other doesn't happen. So it goes, auction won't happen. Bitch about everything and cancel the auction. Well, they did take
Yeah.
too long, I felt, honestly. Well, did
It
you
was too
notice
long.
Charu
It
was
was-
getting short tempered towards the end? Okay,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
we've
yeah.
only got a few seconds.
Yeah. He's like, okay, now I'm going to do quick, just 2 looks from the left and right. I'll move on. All right, just
Yeah.
and at that time he's also thinking, I'm instructing the people who hold my career and life like this.
Yeah.
Like,
And for
then,
private
okay,
auctions as
instead of
well.
yeah,
Yeah,
and 2 people, no, we'll do 5 looks. Okay, sorry about
Yeah.
that. As many looks as you want, I'll give.
Chalo lagao
Wow.
boli, chalo chalo ye.
Yeah.
I just felt bad for the odd cricketer who's mentioned it towards the end only, finally.
Mm,
And then he's
mm.
told, okay, we have only 3 seconds for this guy. I'm like, what? He's been cancelled for 3 in a row. And then he gets up on the
You know
thing
what?
and
My favoriteest auction was Arjun Tendulkar. because so first
Don't
his
bring
base
him
price.
on the show.
Wait, no, yeah, wait, no,
Dear
Sai,
Silverie,
so
dear
his
Silverie,
base price was
Papa
20
this
lakhs.
side.
Okay, so next
Jara
up
wo
we have
Sriraam ko
Arjun
hatao show
Tendulkar.
se, bhaichod, please.
Price is 20 lakhs. Of course, like Mumbai Indians,
Stop!
yeah, 20 lakhs done.
Naveen,
And
you're close
and
to him.
every
I
Pull
want to
his
listen to the
leg.
story now. Wait, no,
Oh,
it's a very
God.
interesting story.
okay, so
Wait, it's
I'm
Arjun
sweating.
Tendulkar, Sachin Tendulkar's son?
Yeah.
yes, okay, so
I'm
I
just,
quit.
I don't know.
He's a Priyanka Tendulkar's son from.
Sorry, I was just checking if you guys knew. I knew this.
Between
I
the
was just,
rabble rouser
testing.
and the
That was a
moron,
joke, guys.
this show really has to be cancelled.
I like how Antariksh went from I know about cricket, I just don't tell you. And then it's Arjun cricketers, yes.
Fast, Aziz Akram fastest 50, little known fact, blah blah blah. Who's Arjun Tendulkar? Oh, let me see.
Arjun
Put
Tendulkar
me in
cricket
relation.
was 50. Yes, correct.
Silver man.
Yeah.
I wish the ball
Maybe,
man had won
you
that
know,
fight.
Hey, there are other people
Like-
called Tendulkar in the world. I'm
like-
just saying.
And
like,
Arjun, many Arjun.
Not
Antariksh should be like, hey, Greenwich and Haynes were like the longest opening partnership for the longest time. No, hey, did you use like ropes for boundary lines or like what's the? How do you play this?
What's a 4? What's a 6?
Antariksh got
Yeah.
cricket knowledge from Lagan only. That's all.
Yeah,
Do you
correct,
know what a
correct.
5 is? Silverie, do you know what a 5 is? How do you get a 5 in cricket?
Yeah, it's a bye and a boundary.
A
No,
wide
no.
and a boundary.
It's when the ball
Not a
hits
bye,
the
but
helmet
So a
behind.
bye and a boundary.
When the ball hits
Well,
the
a
helmet
run.
that is
Give
kept
me a run.
behind.
Off the bat as well. And
Yeah,
then it
or
goes
give me
for
a
four.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
one way to
bad.
get five.
He's not zero. He's not like Kunal.
I mean, I know
Kunal
the
is zero.
rules, man. What are you guys talking? I've played cricket. I've
But
gotten
finish your
trained by
story.
Jayanti Lal
You can't just
Okay,
meet
let-
Jai
let-
Shah without
Sanjay
knowing the
Bangar. I have bowled to
Left arm
Sanjay
orthodox,
Bangar.
left arm orthodox bowler to a left-handed batsman. Where does the ball go? Stock delivery.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Could you repeat
Left
that?
hand orthodox bowler to a left-handed batsman. Where does the ball go? Is stock ball.
Left arm orthodox bowler to left arm
Where does
By
the ball
repeating the
go?
to the
question,
What is the
leg side
question?
off
It's
the
not ball.
offside of the leg the man.
The opposite.
It'll go the offside of the left hand
No, it-
batsman.
It goes to the leg side. And then we had a 50% chance of getting it right, and you screwed it up.
Yeah,
You're out of the
it's fine.
show. You're fired.
I was almost right.
He went to coaching for 2 days. Yes.
So
These guys
okay,
are
I'll tell
too
the
much in
story.
remember
So
this
story.
basically,
Yeah.
basically,
He went for cricket
Charu-
coaching. Oh,
I
sorry,
did
go
it,
on.
yeah.
So Charu Sharma, next up in the options, Arjun Tendulkar, he goes for a base price of 20 lakhs. First bid, Mumbai Indians. Yes,
Of
Mumbai
course.
Indians coming at 20
Hmm.
lakhs. All right.
हम सब बोल रहे
And everyone's like, yeah, cool, this is done. Arjun Tendulkar goes to Mumbai Indians. Suddenly, like Gujarat Titans, like, yes, 25 lakhs. And
Wow.
everyone's like, wait, what?
हैं.
And then Mumbai Indians, Akash Ambani, he's like, dude, what are you doing? This is not a cricketing deal. This is a
Yeah.
we are swindling money here, all right?
He's not a bad
Arjun
cricketer,
Tendulkar
he's
is Sachin's shell company. I'm routing money to Sachin through this. Why are you
not
getting
fair.
involved in
You know,
this?
I've
They're
seen
like,
him play.
okay, fine, 30
He's not
lakhs,
bad.
all right, here, take it,
I've seen
And
him bowl.
sold to
He's
Mumbai
pretty
Indians
good.
for 30 lakhs, yes.
It
And
was 24
it was
lakhs,
a
by the way.
beautiful insight into
24.
like just
Some comedians on the Netflix show got more money than him, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? The Premier League, what the fuck they were doing.
yeah, I mean
Oh,
What do you think,
shit.
Munawar on Lock
I'm
Up
writing
more
to
or
Amit.
less?
Definitely more.
I'm writing my
Definitely
resignation,
way
my
more.
resignation letter. I'm writing. There's no
It's a
one
long
left now.
letter. Yeah.
On a post-it.
It's a long-
note, yeah. Post-it
It
to the
includes word of the
North
day.
Pole.
Word of the day is part of it.
Uh.
I just wanted to keep him happy.
I think we're
Why
done.
do you accept my resignation?
Yeah,
Guess
yeah.
the meaning of
Can
these
you answer
words.
this? Yes. Put a
it's
smile back
written
on
on
my
a
face.
post-it note, so he has to remember to like send it.
Yeah. I'll send
Okay, let's
you
do
all my
last one.
love.
Last one. By last
Okay,
one, I
absolute-
mean last one. Yeah.
Okay, absolute last one.
Or forever.
This is like drinking with Jugal Hansraj. Hey, last one, guys.
Last one.
Last
Hey,
one.
ball
all right,
all
this-
drop.
you made fun of a lot of people. You leave my Jugal alone. He's a great guy. He's super
He's
funny.
massive.
Very
He's
charming.
beautiful.
Great fun.
He-
Don't judge
I
by the
think
Nutramul
ever
ad,
since
for
I
God's sake.
heard he's the head of Dharma, he's a great guy. I think.
Head of
Jugal,
Dharma.
my
Head of
number is
one batch of Dharma, whatever, new talent or new shows or something like that. But he's like
Yeah.
the head of department, like
He made that
physics.
cartoon movie
That's
also,
cool.
no?
oh
Yeah, he
yeah,
did
Roadside Romeo.
Roadside Romeo.
Roadside
And he wrote the
Romeo.
music
Roadside Romeo.
for Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham. It's all his music, a lot of it.
What?
Yeah. Yes. Don't say what.
I thought it was that. I thought that
And don't
Sandesh
abuse him.
Sandalya or
You
whatever.
know,
Stop
Cyrus
it,
knows because he
Tendulkar.
complains about
Stop.
the drinking and he's like, man, nobody gives me credit for the music, man.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I'm pretty boy.
And then he would sing for us. It was
Really?
beautiful. Yeah.
Nice. We should
Yeah,
have him on
but
the show.
people-
Huh? Why
The-
haven't we called him?
people-
Cyrus,
Then people will start breaking
you do.
glasses on his head and all.
Cyrus,
But,
the things you have to do to maintain friendships with high society. Oh, Jugal, you have a great voice.
yeah,
Yeah.
please sing,
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
क्या गाते हैं?
Kya
sometimes
voice.
lying
Yeah,
is the most
और as
beautiful thing.
Bappida would say क्या गान है?
Then
Okay, I-
Navin Cyrus will be like, "Arey, you only wrote it, yeah, Kabhi Ko. Who is that Sandesh?" You only wrote it, man.
Convince yourself.
Not the
Yeah,
lyrics.
it's sort of, yeah.
I don't know if he wrote the lyrics. Karan may have written the lyrics. You don't wrote the lyrics. Lyrics are
Coming
taxi
back
driver.
After like the
These are all
18th
English-speaking
pack,
guys. You don't write the
after like
lyrics.
the 18th pack, Jugal, you only invented the tabla, man. Just take credit. All right, like,
So for lyrics, they've got to go
Different
get one professor to come in and just
Yeah,
write
the
some
name
words.
Jugal Bandi after you only,
yeah,
man.
Jugal Bandi
Yeah.
after you
Yeah.
only.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, last question, and then we'll end. Okay.
Oh, no,
BB
we can
says-
go on.
Yeah, I
cool.
think.
Nothing to do.
BB says,
The,
Cyrus.
the chat is saying, can you end? 5 people have said, please end. Yeah.
How can you see
Because they need to go to the washroom. It's so engrossing that
Yeah.
No, they all watch it in the washroom. You got to get the right ambience.
that's I feel ideal. I think this show is a very that sort of setting.
We'll end with a
In fact, I was
flourish.
asking Amit.
The plops
BB
cover the.
I was asking Amit if I could do it from the IVN washroom.
Where's your resignation letter, Sriraam? You know you have no friends in cricket now. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
no,
No friends in
eh,
politics and no friends in comedy. Huh?
Just
Jugal Hansraj was your only hope.
yeah,
Jugal was your
yeah.
only hope.
Please,
You fucking feed on
please
him.
invite
You
me
got
when you're
nowhere to go
drinking
now.
next
Yeah,
time.
I
Yeah,
can't drink with him now, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
just
I can help you.
yeah.
Alright.
Cool.
Yes,
BB asks,
Silverie?
Cyrus, is it that you mock bald men? From your past comments, it seems like you get triggered by bald men also.
Half my
Please
family is
clarify.
bald. And also the men, some of them. So it just come on. for God's sake. Really. I didn't mock bald men. You mock bald men, Silvery, by saying it's like saying
Yeah,
black
but
man or
you
Scott
often
man.
do. Like
had to
I
say
did
it.
once in my lifetime today, and
this is a
I
thing
don't
even I
like
get
them. I
sometimes, yeah.
feel it's appalling their behavior. Trying to take a wrong and making it right. Like, look, I'm bald. How beautiful am I? I'm like, no, you're not. You're bald.
Yeah.
And I
Whenever-
think it's for me, it's a hypocrisy. If you're going to be bald, why do you have eyebrows? They should go too. You
I
shouldn't have
think
anything.
Voldemort doing it for everybody.
Yeah.
If he was just like he had some hair, he would be fine.
but you would just
Voldemort
look
was like-
weird without eyebrows also. Like
No.
Although that's a nice Voldemort
Yeah.
that I want to see, where he has 3 strands of hair, does the turn.
Yeah. Like a comb
That
over, yeah.
Voldemort is a nice.
It's like
Little
he
bit.
goes scooter and flies.
little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
like,
No, let's
like
let's
he has
give
like
him one
nose hair
eyebrow.
and air from his ear. Like I like
With one
that
eyebrow in the
Voldemort.
middle,
Yeah.
like
One eyebrow.
unibrow,
Not
or
in the
like
middle. Just one eyebrow.
one
Not a
eyebrow.
Cut
unibrow.
all of this.
Just one.
Yeah, like a Hitler mustache, but on the eyebrow.
So it looks like
But
he's
you know
always
one
like
thing?
he's always doing the
Last
rock, the rock impression.
I've always
Like
noticed
Sorabh
girls'
Pant.
eyebrows.
Hmm.
I don't know why.
Because
I've
they are
always looked at
pointy.
that.
Because you look them in the eyes, Cyrus. That's a good thing.
No, I never
Yeah.
look
For
at
a
that.
change,
I
yeah.
look at
What
that.
else?
Their
Like,
eyes are up here only. Don't worry.
Stop
Cyrus,
it.
how low are you fishing for compliments?
Wait, wait,
You know,
wait. No.
I
Listen, guys,
always
I
look
can't
at
write.
dogs.
Sri,
My
I
brows
can't
are
write
up
so
here.
Yeah.
fast. Now I have to write Silvery's resignation. Not the same time. It's not easy.
I mean, where are we? Like, Cyrus, I
got
always
lots
notice
of paper.
girls' eyebrows. Also,
Boys,
you know,
I got lots to do.
I-
Yeah.
I always look at people's clothes. Yes, and also, you know, my driver, right? I always shake his hands. Yeah, how like
Firstly,
for
he's
like
not my
genuine
driver.
thing
Kunal
that
has a
everyone's
name,
supposed
okay?
to do. Like,
Firstly.
you're gonna take
So don't go that far. Really, it's unnecessary. By the way, guys, Kunal's going to Srinagar tomorrow. We may never see him again.
Kunal's going to
The
Srinagar.
owner of the channel
Like,
is bald. That's true. Is Amit bald? He's not really bald. He's more like he's got that
I
little
mean,
hair
come on.
thing.
What are we calling
I mean,
it?
that
really?
side hair is
Semi-bald, that's
considered
even more
bald
concerning.
only.
Now
I mean,
I've got your
guys,
letter here,
Amit is
Silvery.
bald.
But
I
I'm
know you
saying,
guys have salaries that you're dependent on,
Yeah,
but let's
that's
face
what
it,
it is.
please.
Yeah, the show had
Okay,
a bald producer.
and
Abbas is bald.
And
Awesome.
I
Sriram.
generally have nothing against bald people.
No,
I
you don't.
think it's-
But going by your batting average, why stop now, right? I mean, whoever you
Yeah,
mentioned, let's
yeah,
just get the
yeah.
fuck out of
Yeah.
town. There's no point now being
Yeah.
nice.
Too late now. Yeah.
Mother Teresa has
Yeah.
left us souls as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Are we doing another one or we're done?
We're done.
Silvery? We're done?
Yes, we're done.
Okay.
Cyrus, have you met
So-
Mother Teresa? Hey, Mother Teresa in
I
a Bakra episode. That'll be so cool, no?
I know, right?
We couldn't air it. We tried.
Yeah. What
You
was
did?
the gag there?
Just
Like
healing
Mother
the sick.
Teresa.
Just,
like-
people weren't feeling well.
It'd
I
be great.
dress-
Like
I dress-
you
I dressed
Mother
up as
Teresa
her.
Bakra is like you get a healthy person and like
Yeah.
dying, you know, like needs your golden touch, you know, to be.
And it gets worse.
Yeah.
Is the Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah,
Backfire.
you know, it starts off with like a common cold, and suddenly the person's like, you know, on the ventilator, and then starts like Bakra, and like, it's okay. And Mother
We don't
Teresa,
do that
oh, yes.
effusively because it's a little sensitive, but we did end it with that, with the voiceover and music, that kind of thing. Yeah, but you get the gist of it. Really,
But that's a great episode, Cyrus. I
it
feel
would have
that
been the
should be
best
a-
ever.
I feel that should be a podcast in itself, where you
In the
know,
world-
Offending Catholics, by the way. with the
Bakra
offense.
Bakra
Let's end with
episodes that
a-
didn't happen.
Let's end with an original song by Bappy himself. हम होंगे
Yes.
कामयाब एक दिन. In oh
That's
मन में
Bappy?
है विश्वास पूरा है. Of
That's
course
Bappy.
not.
That's
you
not
idiot.
Bappy, right?
It is.
What kind of comedian are you? Obviously not.
Okay.
That's we
The
shall
other-
overcome. COME.
Yeah, kabaddi overcoming. Yeah.
Postman,
Also,
I need a postman.
Yeah.
I need a postman. I have to post. Okay, bye, ladies. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.